Alrighty. Hello there. Welcome to our 3K celebration. Woo! I don't have a soundboard of silly sound effects. This is shaders in 1.21, no less. In fact, if we go and take a look down here, you'll see that I'm not just anywhere. We've got ourselves a trial dungeon. What do they call these things? Do they call them trial chambers? But we are going to take a look at some of these features and see what we can do. Announcements for the channel are going to be, where am I? Some kinks to work out in the shaders. Today we're going to go over, we're going to spend some time doing some experimenting in 1.21 with some of these snapshots and see what we can do with these new redstone components. We're going to go over some new SMPs that are on the way. I'm not going to give too many details on one of them. A new channel I'm going to be starting up pretty soon here, and a pair of new videos I'm going to be doing previews on. I'm going to show some creators we should probably be paying closer attention to. So let's start with some redstone. So I've not looked at these yet, but the biggest changes coming in 1.21 are the fact that we've got these waxed copper bulbs. I mean, there's a couple changes that people are going to be really excited for in 1.21. One of them is the fact that there's now a where is it? It's game rule. It's a nether, so you can change the nether portal speed so that they're instant on survival. And I feel like that's player's nether portal creative delay and default delay. So if I set this to 0, that's going to be really nice to have. I'm super excited to add that because there's a delay, as you know, with nether portals where you have to stand in them and get nauseous first, and we're not going to have to do that anymore. So now, when I'm on survival mode, flint and steel, and we'll have somewhere to stand. So now, if I go to survival, watch this. You ready? It's going to be instantaneous. Whoop! Okay, call me a liar. Mojang. Oh, I guess it did. It just like lags. There we go. There was some delay because I had to create the nether for the first time. Alright. Let's try that again. We're going to be testing some of these new shaders. I need to do a shader video. YouTube really likes shader videos. So I've got shaders working 1.21. But we're going to go whoosh. And it's as fast as it can possibly take you. I don't know about you. That's a huge thing for me. That is huge. Anyway, so don't know what we're going to do with that redstone-wise, but meh. So anyway, now we got ourselves a platform to work on. So, what's your favorite thing of, you guys have a favorite thing so far with 1.21? So the weird thing, they've made a lot of changes to this in the snapshot so far. Initially, it was set to 1 tick delay, which is like half a redstone tick. So it didn't operate on normal redstone, and it let you do some really cool things with pistons and things that required timings. But now they changed it. So they changed it to 2, and people, yeah, they weren't. Oh, that's right. So they have. So these copper bulbs can get darker with time. So you have like an exposed copper bulb and a weathered and oxidized, and they provide different light levels. Yeah, so technically it's like, oh, it's 4 different blocks actually. That's the wrong block. Yeah, so not in that order, but we're going to be able to do this. And what's still unique about these, and I want to do some slimestone here in a minute, we're going to do that, and they turn on, and then you do that, and they turn off. And so it can lead to some interesting combinations. One of the things that, yeah, the copper stuff is kind of, this block is crazy, man. This thing, this is like the holy grail of modded Minecraft. I can't believe they actually added it. There's no way this wouldn't happen without Nimbon. The creator of the Fabric mod got hired by Mojang, and that is a massive influence in this release. This is the carpet release. And so those of you who play with carpet will appreciate a lot of the stuff. But this thing is a rabbit hole, man. I'll tell you what. So interesting overall channel news is that my 3x3 elevator, which is my very first YouTube video, has always remained my #1 most viewed video. Hello, Conyer. We are talking about latest channel news, celebrating 3,000 subscribers, and I'm going to do some Redstone for once in my life. We're looking at 1.21. I've already got shaders in here, so you got beautiful sunrises and sunsets. Watch this time set 0. Look at that, 1.21 sunrise. But anyway, we're going to do I gotta do a video on how to do that because it's the same video, but YouTube likes it in the algorithm. I am the you can get shaders in the new version now guy who's just like, oh, I will show you how to do it. It's the same thing. But we're looking at these. But they were, as I was saying, they were set to 1 tick, which is like half of a redstone tick, because redstone does 10 ticks. So the redstone only happens twice every other real game tick. So there's 10 redstones in a second, whereas there's 20 ticks in a second. And these were on the 1, and it was making everybody super excited, and then Mojang changed it, and now everybody in the redstone community is very angry at them. And then they changed it from being 1 to being 2. And we're like, that's not what we... And we were really mad about it, and then they changed it again to 0, so it's instantaneous. So, like, I don't even know what to make of this. But you can do binary counters and stuff in it. So really, it's going to be one of the 2 things to play with. So one of the fun things you can do. Let me think about this for a second. Watch this. Oh, so they also made them like a glass block where you hear that sound. So they don't cast a redstone signal. So watch this. If I put some dust on top of it, this is going to have weird implications. If you put this right here, it won't power the blocks underneath. See, these ones stay off. They function like they're boop, boop. And so you can actually tell whether they're currently powered by whether there's a little red dot. I agree, Kanye. The sounds are really cool. We've got I will say that's to Mojang's credit. They're doing a really good job in the sound department. I don't think I've heard that sound before. Usually people use levers or other things with them, but like if it just dust lights them up, then... Bloop. Yeah, they have a subtle sound. But the fact that they're toggleable is really interesting. So let's try a couple experiments since we're experimenting with 1.20. Let's do... Give me a beacon. Bringing home the beacon and an iron block. And I think they might be completely hollow. We're about to find out if I'm right or wrong here, but I think... So you put a full size... So here's a regular block. You will see that a regular block does not allow you to, whereas glass of any kind, including half slabs, incidentally. I was helping somebody on Discord. On my server, I have a Q&A channel where people ask questions. So anything that is considered a glass block... Oh yeah, the placing sound is great too. I think it's almost... The breaking sound's unique, but I think I think it's almost the same sound as the copper placement. But I think... Nope! Okay, that's really strange. That's really strange. So they are solid blocks as far as lighting goes, but they are not solid... Hello, Payne. They are not solid blocks as far as redstone goes. So they're solid glass is what they kind of are. It's weird. Oh, we get some rain here. If anybody wonders, the shaders I'm using are a custom version by a YouTuber by the name of Frog Crafting. Has a custom modification to BSL shaders. I like the rain, but not at that volume. There we go. So let's see. Okay, so that's an important lesson. So they're not see-through. This is a great way to tell if light passes through them, but it does not. Anyway, so one of the things you can do is what people have already exhibited is putting buttons on them, and you can set them to a state. So it's like you can doodle on it, and I think you can detect them. I would say don't quote me on that, but we're going to find out. That's what we're here for. All right, while we're working on this, let's think of, okay, some things for the channel right now. So channel's at 3,000 subscribers. It took us way too long. That's not a comparator. It took us way too long to get to that point because I haven't been super active, but I am coming back and I've got 2 videos I'm going to show you guys. See, this is interesting because they contain a state and you can control them. So you can turn them on and off. So they're a T-flop, flip-flop / toggle. They're a toggle that is in one block. And it's really nice to have the one block. So you remember your binary counter, Conyer? You had on the Redstone SMP, you made a binary counter, and I thought it was hilarious that they've essentially implemented that like this. These are essentially what you built as a block. And so every time you, hang on, we've got to see what we're doing here. Button, give me button. Every time you push the button, see, oh, wait. What did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong? I've seen this in videos. People know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, apparently. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so it's an inverted binary counter. But you can see the binary pattern they go in. Boop, boop, boop. And so they'll flip in a binary counter fashion. Yeah, it looks like they're inverted. I didn't realize they were inverted. I'm shocked that that's a factor. But apparently when you light them up, it chains all the way down. I was just like, okay, I guess that's a thing. But yeah, either way, it's still cool to see 3 off. And then now is that one off? I mean, you could honestly invert it again by just doing something like this. I think I went the wrong way on this. Oh, well. Yeah, the one that changes most often is supposed to be on the right-hand side if you're doing binary counters. See, they're glass, so they're always on. There's no matter what, your torches are going to be on. You're going to have to use comparators if you're going to want to detect them. Like we showed up here. Now, if they remain out of phase like that, ooh, oh my word! You guys realize what that means? This is really significant. What this means is you can have a complex code being passed through that can be configured, and you can toggle the code on and off. Right, Conyer. It still acts the same in terms of rate of change to 0, 1, or flipped. It still changes like it still is a binary counter. It's just inverted. But this allows you to invert a set of lights. This is kind of a big deal. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, so it does a perfect inversion every time. You can invert an entire row of 1s and 0s. And you can, more importantly, you can store an entire... So this is going to be... this might be a little bit beyond the average redstoner, but the people who do like crazy machines in Minecraft that are calculators and so forth, this drastically compacts the amount of space needed for those machines. Like, I don't know how this is going to be used exactly. I think the people who are serious about building those contraptions don't do a lot in the snapshots because they don't want to get burned by additional changes. They don't do a massive project that takes a month long until... I mean, maybe they have, and they just haven't. We won't find out about it for another month. But generally speaking, you're going to have these much more large and much more complex. But being able to alter them individually and then flip them is kind of a big deal. I can see it now. I can see this. I mean, people have already done the "this changes everything" videos, but I can see the example of why. I can see like Cubic Meter or somebody, one of those geniuses. I don't know if anybody saw the Crafty Masterman's live stream today. I did not, but he got Mumbo and Purple Dragon Nuke, goes by Purplers now, and Matt Batwings. He got the whole, I think, and Venom too. He got the whole gang together and for like the annual Redstone Awards. And so I did see that in some of the nominees, they had Cubic Meter's crazy stuff. He made like a crazy chunk deleter, like TNT. Cubic Meter's crazy. He's an engineering student who somehow made his way into electrical engineering. He's building siege weapons of I mean, one of his videos was let's see. Cubic Meter did the one of the automated wither killers. He also did, I'm thinking of the one where he has like a GPS like missile strike for an anvil, where he came up with a spreadsheet that lets you set and configure this TNT cannon. It's a TNT cannon that allows you to like precision place anywhere in a given region. Any possible trajectory you could specify it, because he's crazy. He's out of his mind. Super high IQ. But yeah, this is going to be really interesting. One of the, let me see. The next thing that I want to see for these blocks is how they interact with limestone. So this is one of the two videos that I'm going to be talking about is my mining board video that's coming up soon. And it's almost done. I kind of want to do like a Mythbusters type of thing to it. So typically when you have observers, I want to show you guys something. So typically when you have observers, let's say you have one. One of the machines I like to do is it requires a pair of pistons. What you do is you get the sticky piston and the non-sticky piston, and you make one that pulls and pushes. And so what you'll do is you'll put one here, you'll put the slime block here, you put this here, and then you power it with a redstone block like so, and it's bud powered, and whenever it sends a pulse, it'll update. And I'm trying to remember now. Note block. There we go. So this is interesting. Okay, so this right here is going to go. See, it's going back and forth. I want to show you something when we move by one block, so I don't want to do that. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go like this, and we'll just put like a regular block here. My brain is just stopped. We'll put an observer here. That'll do it. Boing, boing. There. So now what we've got here is this regular arm that's just moving one block at a time. I said one block at a time. And so what the implications of this, this is something that Mumbo used in his automatic flying machine builder, is what you can do is you can actually put a sticky piston on whatever contraption you're building. So, and you can have an observer that fires every other tick by having, say you want it to trigger this. So only every other tick will it fire. So this is kind of like a timer. Hang on. There we go. Pop. Wait a minute. Okay, I've got to put this here. There we go. Something has to update it. The piston's not going to fire by itself. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'll put this here just in case. Yeah, so see, only every other time will this piston fire. And so he was able to do a bunch of interesting patterns. But you can go check out my video on how Mambo did it. But it'll only fire this one every other time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm thinking the implications of this are probably going to be related to the light source being... That's interesting that it didn't fire. Okay. So it'll go on, off, on, off, off, on. The volume of these is really loud. So I just set up a new environment and a new Minecraft instance. There we go. Don't want to break you guys' ears. That's hurting my ears. So that's interesting that we now have the ability to have lights turn on and off based on some timing criteria on our flying machine. Again, it's one of those things where I don't know what I would do with it, but it's definitely a thing. I mean, let's just demonstrate. For example, por ejemplo, I should be able to automate this with a, the typical flying machine. So I can go boop, and I can go boop, and we can go like that, and we can just go... Hang on, I can remember how to do this correctly. I think that's it. I think that's all there is to it. Yeah, and then the one last step. Step 0 is don't be stupid. Don't be stupid like me. All right. There we go. So I believe... Oh, well, that's awkward. That's going to get stuck, probably. Oh, no, it's using the redstone block. I was like... Yeah. Off, off, on, off, on, off. So now you've got a blinking light on your... I don't think you can do this with note blocks. That's annoying. Can we make it quiet? I bet we can make it quiet. Okay, it got jammed. We ran out of blocks. I was going to do this and just have it pull a silencer along with it. Flashing lights for aircraft. That's a good idea. I should probably go through some of the aircraft designs. That's one of my bucket list items. Is there's some amazing people. There's a couple people that Cube Hamster is a big fan of. You know what? That would have fixed it right there. Aha! It's silent now. All right, don't do that one. Like a dum-dum. I did... No, that is the one. I did it again. I did it again. Yeah, see, look at that. The amazing quiet flying machine. I mean, quiet asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Like, that's not truly quiet. But, yeah, so there's an interesting thingamajig you can do with this. Now, here's an important question, which you guys should know the answer to. What happens when we try and move a craft or a slimestone? Does it jam the whole thing? The answer has to be yes, because it holds an item. Because it can hold an item, it's going to be like a furnace, so it's going to stop things. Okay, so we got blinking lights. That's kind of what I was hoping to see. Let's see, what else do we got? We just don't have the tick delay that the one tick delay, because what they were originally doing, you might have seen these videos already because they're just everywhere on the internet, is they were doing like observers that would detect them, and you could do it every single tick. Sorry, every single tick, and so every tick you were updating them or moving them. I'm trying to remember how exactly they coordinated it. They'd have a piston here, and the pistons were doing a perfect wave, because normally 2 of them will fire at a time. If you do them 1 tick at a time here, using pistons to update. But now they'll do, hang on. But now, instead of doing that, they're only gonna, yeah. So here's something interesting. It looks like the observer detects both when it's powered and unpowered, regardless of whether... Yeah, Kanye, Phoenix did one. Purpose did one, Phoenix did one, Crafty did one. Everybody and their dog and their cat did one. Crafty changed his Twitter avatar. Give me 1 second. Hopefully it's not minimizing. Crafty Masterman, where are you, bud? Oh, yeah. So this is the thing that he won't shut up about, is I'm trying to remember what it was actually, because I'm looking at him and at his avatar, and what he's got is, I can't remember what it was, but there's this new contraption you can build with these that goes like these. Sorry, I went the wrong way. You go up, and then you go over, like that, into a hopper. We're going to play a game called Refresh My Memory, because I'm good at reverse engineering things. Like that, and then there's like a wing on this block for some reason. I think it's a dropper. I think he's using a texture pack. I believe he's doing that. And I'm not sure what this does. I'm trying to remember. So now it's in there. Let's see. Does anybody remember what he was doing? Oh, and then you push the button and then it goes through. But it was some kind of an infinite crafting loop that he was doing. But anyway, no idea what he was talking about. But there was something that everybody like invented at the same time with these, and they were super hyped about it. But let's move on to the interesting topic, which is this crafter, because a lot of stuff is going to change. So some of us are working on a oh, hi Socrat. I missed you in the chat. And then why you too. We've got the entire decision tree in Minecraft, not decision tree, tech tree, the entire process of advancements and crafting recipes is almost completely wrecked by this thing. Like, this is one of the reasons why I never thought they would add it to vanilla, and because the implications are significant. But that's the thing, is the implications are significant. If you in Purpler's latest video, he actually made a raid farm that produced gunpowder, and then he made a sand farm using an end portal, and he combined them together. And when you combine them together, you get a TNT generator and a fully automatic TNT farm. And he had them positioned near each other in the end so that it was only required one person. But like, good grief, can you imagine an infinite TNT printer? It's just broken. So the way this works, for those who haven't played around with 1.20, is essentially this is your crafting recipe generator. So we're going to watch me screw up and be embarrassed because I haven't played with any of this, so I am brand new. Normally I'm way ahead of the curve on snapshots. Here's what I want to do. What's the most annoying thing to craft in Redstone? There's a one correct answer, and the correct answer is it involves quartz. Most annoying thing to have to manually craft. Because that's what this is going to be used for. Let's be real. In survival, observers aren't too bad because they use obsidian. It's just annoying because you forget. There's like, is it 2 nether quartz and 1 redstone dust? Or is it 1 nether quartz? I think it's 1 nether quartz and 2 redstone dust. But the most annoying thing when you're doing complex machinery is this right here. This makes people want to gouge their eyes out. This is, I mean, repeater's a close second, but the repeater is considerably easier than an observer. But yeah, this is the most irksome thing. So what we want to do, so this is the output, the face is the output. So what we want to do is try to do, oh, so here's a fun thing, Conyer, is dispensers are actually surprisingly a pain in the patukas because of the bow recipe. Because you have to have a bow to do it. It is actually one of the hardest things to get in large quantities in a survival setting. And having, I think the worst case scenario for dispensers is they're one of the only cheap things to make for a breeder in Pixelmon. If you ever played the Pixelmon mod, if you're a secret Poke nerd. The breeding stations, when you need a whole bunch of a certain type of block, depending on what Pokemon type they are, you need a whole bunch of dispensers. And guess what? It's almost impossible to get a hold of string. There's just no way to farm string in the Pixelmon. And so you're stuck with no way to make observers, really. It's a real pain in the butt. Yeah, and bows don't stack, which is just, I mean, blocks that have identical NBT data, there are Minecraft mods that fix that and let them stack anyway. That should be a core part of vanilla. Like, that's my hot take for the night, is vanilla needs to make identical NBT data items stack. They need to stack. Like bows, you should be able to stack, let's say 16 bows if you want to keep to the conventions that Minecraft has. But let's see if we can, 1, 2, 3, only 3 different blocks. In creative, this is one of the reasons why you should never experiment in survival mode. Is it's so much easier in creative just a middle click. There's a lot of things you can do in creative that just make this easier. I've got some friends I've been trying to help with. Bows, potions, soup. Oh yeah. Honestly, Raven, if the SMP we're working on, if we can find a mod that'll let those stack, or we can just force some vanilla items to stack from the server side, and because I suspect that's probably a thing that you could do from the server side that doesn't affect the client. If we can make it so people don't have to download another mod, I think we need to do that. We need to make it so the NBT stacks if they're identical. Well, here's a really interesting, Raven and Payne, here's a really interesting consequence of the soup. If you were to make soup stack, if it has identical, you know what that means? It means that the suspicious stew, all the different suspicious stews that you can't tell apart, you'd be able to tell whether they can stack immediately by shift clicking them. So that would have an interesting, like, it would basically allow you to stack suspicious stews by which suspicious stew they are, and then you never end up with a pile that you don't know what they do. I'm pretty sure that that visual is not there on survival. I'm pretty sure if I take sus stew, so let's say we take the blindness one, and I hold this one. It doesn't say blindness. See, I don't even have to go to survival, but they all look exactly the same until you try and stack them. So if we could make it so they could stack, that would be it'd be a fun little hack. So every time this receives a redstone signal, it's going to. Technically, we need more of these because there's more of them. And same for stone. But I think this is going to become a staple in the. So where would you get these? So let's just play. Let's pretend for a moment we are playing survival. You would need to have a nether quartz supply that comes in from here. So you get your nether quartz being fed in here, and then you would have your redstone torches, which would be fed in from here. And what we could do is we could probably take, in fact, I kind of want to clean those out. We'll do that in a minute. We can do, oh, that's interesting. It sucks them out. I don't know how I feel about that. It sucks the last one out. I think what you do is you have them powered. So what you do is you'd want to power them like this. We need to invert it. So let's go like that. Now we can put our dust in and our torches. Sticks. My brain has been mixing up sticks and torches tonight for some reason. Don't know why. And so, of course, you'd have where these come in at. So that'll work. Redstone dust, sticks. So what we'd be able to do then is we'd be able to we'd send a pulse, which would simultaneously fire a pulse at the crafting table here, and it would turn off the torch, and so it would give us the flicker. Booey! And how do you send a single pulse? Very easy. Where's an observer? Observer. Look at that. Now look at that. All right, so I think what we can do is this will go, let's do the test. We got 64 in there. It should go poop, and it should just make one. And there should be, see, there's 3 in there right now. Boop. Interesting. They're not making it out in time. They're not making it out in time. Okay, so the easiest way to do this when you want to trigger a bunch of pulses is you do a lever. And so that one, so those 3 went out. Let me empty this out again. Boop. And so that crafts one, and now it's stuck in here. And we just want that one to escape. So this should have 1 in it still. Nope. What is up with that? Maybe we wait a little bit longer. I don't think we need to... Is it not turning the torch off? It's not turning the torch off. That's what it is. That's my bad. Okay, now let's try. All right, fine. Make it 2 ticks. There we go. All right, so that's pulling an item out, which is bad. Let's try this. Pop. And that only... And there's a torch in there, and then we go... Pop. It's still pulling out a redstone dust. We don't want that. Interesting. Pop. I'm going to need to learn how these mechanisms work. Oh, I don't need the hopper down there. You're right. I have failed the stupid test yet again. All right, so here's what we're going to do is we're going to put... My bad. Let's go like that. So they have 4 different rotations? That's really strange. Okay, cool. Okay, so then the answer then is literally just send a pulse. Oh, we have to put the ingredients back in there now, don't we? Whee! I'm falling down. We need to put da 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 da. There we go. Yeah, so now it should boop. Oh, yeah, the white particles are new. I don't remember those being a thing. It goes. So there's one redstone torch in there, and then we do it again. And there's still one redstone torch in there. But we are adding to the redstone torches because there's 9 here. We do it again. There's 10 here. So yeah, that works perfectly. You just need to send a pulse to that. And we just need to have at least a 2 ticks so that this torch will turn off and let that one go through. I guess technically now that we're no longer sucking on it, we can just not do that anymore. We want to keep this as simple as possible. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just successful every time. Problem solved. But what that will do is now we have those from base components. So you can throw your redstone dust and your sticks in here. Actually, we could take this further. We could do... I mean, it's not the most interesting concept at this point. But now you get to the point where you can do... this would be crafting sticks. And this would be crafting planks. And so you'd have logs and then... Let's see. So what you would do is you'd go... This is our stick pile. Yes. Yes. And so we'd have sticks as the output. So what we'd want planks. So see, the full automation is going to come in when you get a full tree. And so then you have those that are coming in from there. I'm sure somebody can kind of find a way to compact this, but this is going to be fun. I'm super excited. This is really big deal for the next version of Minecraft. This is just going to change everything. This is like farms in Minecraft, which is what most people do in the late game, will never be the same. Awkward moment. Awkward moment. Awkward moment. Stop. It's time to stop. There we go. But yeah, so now you can do that and you just trigger all of them at once and they'll just continue to go. Now the funny thing is, what you'd probably want to do is see how this produces 4 of them every time? There's going to be a bit of a pipeline with this. This is a new concept for people who've never played modded Minecraft, is pipeline bottlenecks. So if you were to, you'd eventually have them spilling out everywhere if every time you needed another redstone torch, you made 4 sticks. You see how that would be a problem? And so you've got to actually reduce this down from 4 sticks. It is not, the sun is not coming up fast enough. Did the sun just go down? Time add. I mean, I like the night and all, but there it is. We'll add a little bit more time. See the sunrise. Or not. So let's talk about what you would want to do if you need to. I know exactly, Raven. You have to do math. There's a math that wasn't in Minecraft that you're going to have to do now. And so for every time, let's think about this. For every time we send a signal to create a redstone comparator, it's going to need to do 3. So it's going to be once every 3 times. And what's funny, you know what's funny, is we need a block that does like binary counter system. If only we had a binary counter of some sort. If only we had a way to sit and count and make something trigger and reset every number of times. Well, thanks to this is actually going to really help us. This is going to come in handy. Oh my goodness, I don't think I put that down. I think they're changing color by themselves. That's hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, so this right here that everyone's so excited about is going to become an integral part of this right here. So there's kind of a yin and yang to this copper bulb and the crafter. So they actually are going to pair really well together. Because if we need to do like 1 every 4 times, what we could do is every 4 times when the switches from off to on, we could have a rising edge counter. And it'll make us 4 sticks every single time we meet that criteria. Because right now, we go boom and we get torch. Well, every time we go boom and get torch, we need to do this, but not every time, once every 4 times. Let me show you how we used to do it in the past real quick. So how we used to do it in the past and how I would do it is what I just showed you over there with the alternating, is you can take an observer and you can kick it back and forth so it only goes every other time. And so what you would do is you would go, so this is going to make the sticks. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a sticky piston. I don't know why I find these so funny, but like it's amusing. It amuses me. So we're going to go, and we're going to do a single tick pulse on this one, like this. And we'll go pulse, pulse, pulse. Okay, now that's not supposed to happen. That's interesting. Why is that happening every time? It should happen every other time. Let's do this. Let's move it over. I think you have to accept a signal or something. And maybe if we put some redstone dust on the other side, but it shouldn't be firing. It should be firing, one of the ticks should be firing right here where it can't reach it. If it functions the way I thought it's supposed to. All right, so let's go. Boom, boom. It's because, okay, so it'll fire it every time when you have the piston facing it because it sees the piston arm. So what we're going to want to do instead is we're going to not punch it in the face. Good rule for redstone, don't punch people in the face. I find that's actually fairly helpful as for life advice in general, but we're going to have fun. What if the redstone dropper doesn't work? That's a good question. There's some really weird. Yeah, Payne, we're gonna have to do some more math. It's gonna be interesting. So it's gonna go boop, 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 boop. Hang on, it seems like it's firing more than once, which don't make no sense to me. All right, so let's do this. So I'm gonna go no, yes, no, yes. You see that? And so that gives us the ability to fire at every alternating time. And so what you can do now is you can do what we just did, where we're moving it back and forth, and it won't fire the other time. And so now, when we put our observer here, let's say, now you guys are learning in real time how to do it compactly, because I've got quite the logic change just between these 4 or 5 blocks. So now what's going to happen is 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and on the count of 4, boop, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And it's only going to do it on every 4 times there's a pulse. And so what you can do is you could wire that up to something like this. And so then that made a torch and that made a stick. And so now you're getting 4 sticks every time you get 2 torches. Every time you make 4 torches. Every 4th torch, it'll make 4 sticks. And so that fixes your problem. But now let me ask, what do you do about this? Wait. Yeah. What do you do about this? So this takes 2 planks. So the ratio here is actually 1 log makes 4 planks. So it's actually going to be divided by 2. So you're actually needing to do a 1-to-2 ratio for each of these. And so what you could do, hypothetically, is you could detect this one, and we'll chain it even further, like, let's do it this way. So, and then we'll be able to have this redstone dust fire every other time that it does every 4 ticks. So that's only going to go every 8 times. So what we've done is we've just taken this one that goes back and forth, and we've chained it to be even less common. And so now what we can do is we could take this, and this would ultimately be, I don't like being over top of pistons. It's bad juju. It's bad luck to put things over top of pistons. Even when you understand buds, you always misthink it. Yeah, so now this right here is only going to fire every other time. So let's watch it. Okay, the bottom one just fired. The top just fired. So it's going to do it every other off tick, it looks like. So now it shouldn't do it this time around. It did. It did do it this time around. Interesting. Let's put it on. Let's put it on tick so that it's firing when it's lined up, so that we see what our problem is. 2. Boom, boom. They both fired. So the bottom one fired. The top one fired. 3, 4. It's going every single time. It should not be going every single time. Why are we going every single time? Oh, you know what? This is okay. No, let me think about this for a minute. Nope, it should not be doing it every time. So every time that goes in, it should not do it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? You know what? You know that this is a solid block. We were talking about how this one doesn't pass a signal. The crafter does pass a signal. So this right here is look at that. That's weird. Why is that happening? That's really interesting. So I was operating on the assumption that it wouldn't that's interesting. That's okay. So then we can fix it by just doing this. We'll go we'll move it one block even further, and we'll just put, since it's apparently powering through, let's test that out real quick. Oh, that's hilarious. You know, it won't do it. That is really strange. That's funny. That's funny. Funny, 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 funny. All right, so let's clean this up then. So this is going to fire every time then. I don't want it to fire every time. All right. This is what we're going to do. So we know for the fact that this doesn't light it up. So this functions the way we thought it was functioning. So what we'll do now is we'll go we'll power our piston via that, and that'll solve our problem. Problem solved. That's hilarious. Yeah, so be warned of that, because apparently you can power this block and it will power pistons adjacent to it. It's powering this block weakly. So yeah, let me demonstrate by putting some redstone dust right here. See that? You see that out of the corner of our left eye? What on earth? What in the good gravy? That's ridiculous. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with. So yeah, so now you know a crafter is a strongly powerable block. It is a powerable redstone block, unlike the glass bulbs. It feels kind of like a bug, because a lot of the other craft blocks are not a thing you can do. So I don't know what that's all about. So this should work in theory. 2. See how that fired at the same time? 2. That's firing every 2. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's look at the one up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going at half speed. Somehow we sped the speed of this up. I don't know what we did. Oh, I know what we did. I know exactly what we did. This redstone dust right here. Derp. That's powering this block, so we're powering it on both cycles. I'm just having a week, guys. I'm just having a moment. All right. What are our other options? Because I'm getting a little irritated. Let's go, let's just detect it this way. That's all we need, right? That'll only fire every other time, right? We're at the same velocity. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's something weird. The front was lighting up and now it's not. Is that a visual thing? Is that a shader thing? I think the texture of the crafting table changes. This is a really nice touch. If Mojang's doing what they think they're doing, this is beautiful. I think it only lights up the top of the crafting table when it crafts something. Come on. Yeah. And so if you take the items out and it doesn't craft anything, only the corners light up and not the end. You know what's weird about these? They don't feel vanilla. A lot of the texture, a lot of the resource packs are that you know how we add custom things on the sides of these so that you can tell. I don't have my resource pack on just yet because it's in a new instance. I need to add it, but I usually have the numbers on the redstone dust. But that's a really nice touch, Mojang. I think props to them. It feels like it was really well made because they really need to overhaul these textures so there's an arrow on the side that lights up so you can tell. We've got some stuff for it to light up in our texture packs because the face changes. So the whole block has to change when the face changes, and so you can see it light up. But in the custom resource packs, or at least the block model changes because no, it's this that changes. I guess the face doesn't change. I guess I could have sworn that was vanilla. I guess it's not. So yeah, because the little bulb lights up. Show us. There we go. Technically the whole texture is changing, so like getting the other sides changed. But they did these little red knobs that light up every time no matter what. And then if it's successful and it actually crafts something, then the crafting table. So from a visual indicator, Mowing did a really good job on these. You know what we need? Lamps. Bulb. We're going to light up our night with the bulbs. And then we're going to piece this log together and make fun of me for being clumsy. Just the implications are really fascinating, the way this is functioning right now. I'm kind of surprised, honestly. Do that. Now do that. All right. 1, 2. Okay, so the one up top fired. 1, 2. They both fired. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not having luck getting them signed up, but you get the general idea. Let me not thinking about this clearly. Let's do this. Let's do that, and then this will fire like this. I'm pretty sure that'll work. Yeah, that's working. Boom, boom, boom. Look at all those sticks getting generated. It's probably piling up in there. It is piling up in there. Called it. Yeah, the top one needs to go half as often, not twice. And we're going to fix that. That's what I'm doing. So if we so let's recap. So right now we've got a redstone comparator right here that's being generated. I am going to have it firing every tick, but for now we're doing an experiment where we do the... Ooh. We ran out of redstone dust that was supposed to be coming in from here. That's okay. Yeah, so with every tick we're generating a new redstone torch here, but we only want to generate sticks every 4 times. And I believe we've still got that working. So you'll see 1. So we're going to go on 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So every 4 pulses. So it's going to create one of these every pulse, but because we need 4 sticks, it's going to create, or because it creates 4 sticks here, we only do this once every 4 times. So now, are you kidding me? All right, fine. This is Mojang Fix Your Game. Mojang, I'm in creative mode, fix your game. All right, game is fixed. If we get annoyed by the night again, I'll just do a daylight cycle. Yeah, so now we have sanity. Sanity remains. So here's a catch. This won't work if I just run this out this way. Why won't that work? Why are we going to run into the same problem again? Think about it for a second. So when this powers this, or when this gets powered, it's going to run back into the block if we're not careful. So we're going to need to, frankly, go directly so that it doesn't pop out again. All right, so that's all you need to double it. What we were doing, there's a lot of interesting things you need to know about how easy it is to power this and the fact that you can power through it. Because let's set up an example since we looked at it earlier. But we are now in a situation where this is possible. Oops. And we need to be honest about it and know that this is what we are dealing with, which is the mind-boggling ability for this to pass things through. Apparently it's a solid block, I guess. See? See? See, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Fun fact, observers are not solid blocks. Observers are like glass. Did you know that? Watch this. So if you guys have watched some of my past Redstone series, you will know that for glowstone and glass, you can go up like this, like they are half slabs, because redstone can go up on these things, and you'll see that there is a vertical redstone dust here. Well, the same thing is also true of observers, because observers are like glass, so you can go up them, but you can't go down them. And so if you were to do this, it's not cutting off the block. See, normally what you would expect to happen is that cutting off this. You see how it's cut off? Because it's a solid block in the way, so the redstone can't go through it. But a observer is acting like a half slab. Yeah, it's completely... I can guarantee, just about guarantee you, Conyer, that like there's going to be resource packs that make the crafter look like mumbo jumbo, and I warn you now, I might be guilty of doing that. I might have to make this the mumbo block. I might have to adjust the pixels so that it looks like Mumbo's face. I probably will, because the longer I stare at this thing, the more I'm chuffed to bits. I'm sure Phoenix did it really sure, but it was kind of a, pardon the term, a shitpost. And I don't think he made it look really good. I want it to look really good. I want it to like look like Mumbo's face, just tinted to be the wood color that's going on here. I think he just slapped a mustache on it, went and I want to actually like make a polished one that looks like it fits with vanilla until you look closely. That would be just chef's kiss. That would be amazing. And yeah, so I think this is fixed now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to fire this every other time, and then we're only going to trigger it on this rotation. And I think the quandary that we were struggling with is over. I think the confusion was simply the fact that we are passing this through, and there's a whole bunch of implications to that I was still getting used to. And so now, whenever this is pushed out, and let's actually try and sync them up. So one of the cool things you can do when you're moving observers back and forth, I'm not smart enough to use the blocks just yet. See how that went off? It was on sync. 1, 2. See that how lit up? And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that lights up on that cycle. Let's move it over so that we're on a different cycle. They should both go at the same time now. So nothing happens. 1, 2, bum bum. 1, 2. Okay, so now what we've done is we've finally got this to where it's behaving like it was always supposed to behave in the beginning. Oh! Oh. This is still firing once on each time, because it hates me. Yeah, so this does nothing. So all this did was extend this out. So that doesn't count. So bear with me. That doesn't count. There. Now we go. Now there's our every other. There's our every other. So every other, this is being pushed back and forth. And so now it'll do it. 2. Ta-da! 1, 2, 3, 4. And now they go. See, every 8th. What have I done? This is the thing you edit out of your video. Not streaming. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Yeah, pretty much. All right, so I want them synced. So there we go. So now, only every other time that we make the 4 are we going to craft logs into, see, 3, 4. See how that one went and that one didn't? And now we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now they both go. See? And so every single time it's firing and creating a redstone torch. And so what you could do, so this is our primary input we're doing right now. And so what you could do is make it so that every 3 times, then it will do it. So not every 4, and not every 2 or every 4. So we have to come up with a tertiary system. Anybody have ideas for a tertiary system? So we have to make this so that every 3 times it resets. And so what you want to do is have an input like this, and every 3 times that we fire it, or every 3 times that we fire this one, then we craft it because we have 3 redstone torches. This is actually really important. Yeah, that doesn't count. If that becomes my, if that becomes, it's quite simple really for me. I'm going to be so embarrassed. People are going to be like, oh, that one doesn't count. So what I'm thinking right now, so here's what I'm thinking. So we've demonstrated over here already that we've got this binary counter. So it's fairly easy. Let's talk about kind of how you would do it if we did it the right, the new way, using these instead of a complex set of observers to do the once every 4. So if we make this one fire once every 4 times, what we can probably do is take one of the other times and mark like the time after the 4th time or something like that. And what we'll do is we'll loop it around and cause it to trigger. And so it's kind of like going a 4 minus 1. So we'll do a 4 minus 1, and that will still give us the output we want. Does that make sense? Essentially, what we'll do is we'll make a 4 counter. I don't want it to do anything just yet because I'm dumb. And we are experimenting with a concept that I understand. And as the great computer scientist Donald Knuth once said, I've only proven it correct. I haven't tried it. Okay, so that is wild. That is wild. I didn't know that. Now we know. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I need right now is our good old friend, the lamp. So I think it's right now we're doing it every other time. So this does the work as a binary counter. 2, 1, 2. Yeah. And so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go up, move 2 blocks forward, and we'll add our next piece of our binary counter like that. And so now it should go 1, 2, 3. So that went. Let's call that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Yep. So now it's going to go every 4th time. And so what I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking, is every time this fires, we will every other... We need to be able to tell which of the cycles we're on. Let's see how often they change. So if you do an observer on it, it's going to see the red dot every time. But if you have it coming out of here, it's only going to change every other time. I'm suspecting what we can do is we can pass this around. We want it to be the so we want it to be the signal after. We want it to be the signal after this fires. How do we do that? The signal after this fires, we want to fire another signal. So we want to do this, and we want to wait for the next signal to fire. Let's think about this. Because what it's going to do is it'll subtract 1 that way. And then we'll get 3, and then we'll be able to do it every 3 times. 2, 3, 4. And so that works, and so that would be firing us every so we'll do that we'll be passing that one over to this one. Actually, it's amusing because what that means is the input for this is coming around. But we essentially want to skip ahead by 1. You know what? I don't think we need any logic. I think we can literally just do that. I think that's all we have to do is have a feedback loop. Let's see. Oh, remember lamp. And what it'll do is it'll shortcut it if we did it right. Lamp. So let's see, when the lamp lights up, let's go ahead and do game rule. Do daylight cycle false. Time set noon. All right. 2, 3, 4. Boop. And I want to say that's updating the state of it. 2, 3, 4. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. So it's not changing the state of it. So that's interesting. I think it's because we've got these comparators and they're on. So you can't on something that's already on. So when it's off, we need to fire a signal. Hang on. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's an idea. What if we just do this? What if we just do this? What if we send it a signal through the front? Let's do that. In fact, just to make it cleaner here, we're gonna do this. There. Oh, but what about the fact that it's gonna cause an infinite loop? This is why you use repeaters. You don't want your signal to go this way. You only want it to go this way. So that's what you do. So let's go back to the way we had it. So 2, 3. Now we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You see that? So feedback loops are, that's all you got to do. So now what's happening is by having the fourth fire it the first time, it only takes 3 fires. And so if we wanted to make a perfect crafter for this, we're going to need to, we'll do this, imagine you do something similar with stone, but honestly, for stone, you're just going to be passing it in. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending a signal every single time, and then every 3 times, it's going to make a redstone torch. I know this is messy. I know it's messy. Bear with me. Realize that we're doing conceptual work here. Think of these as cables, so it doesn't matter how long the cables are. It's not complex if there's a cable here. It's not a big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know if it's going to meet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know if that's going to meet. Life pro tip. When something just barely fits, you put it in the middle. And so now we need to keep a close eye on this one right here and this one right here. So let's recap the whole system now that we've got it all together. So right here we've got a redstone comparator that's being created, and we're going to only create that every 3 ticks because we need 3 redstone torches, which are coming from this. And each of those 3 times we're going to only do that. Each 4 of these times we're going to create 4 sticks so that we have the same, and then every other time we're going to do this. So the ratios should balance out perfectly so that you don't get any log jams. This might not seem like that big of a deal. Boop. Yep, every 3 times. Look at that. Isn't that neat? This might not seem like a big deal, but believe me, what's going to happen, and you already saw it happen when we were experimenting, is we had this problem in the stick where the sticks were piling up. We had a stupid amount of sticks in here. See all this? Those are just our mistakes. Like, it made a lot of sticks while we were not doing this right. So learning how to double. So this is what I just showed you is easy, where things will fire every other time if you combine a piston and a observer. Because what happens is the observer moves, fires, moves, fires, moves, fires. And if you have it where only one of those spots takes a redstone signal, it doubles it every time. So that's how we went from 2 to 4. This one relays it, so it's still 4. And then this pair goes to 8, and so now only every 8 times that we create a redstone torch is it going to create planks from logs. And I can re-demonstrate that if we want. So watch, keep an eye on this one right here and that one up there, because you'll see that it'll only go every other time. See, that one lit up and the top one did not light up. 2, 3, 4. And you see now they both light up. And so that gives us the right amount so that we don't end up with infinity oak planks here. So if I continue to do this, we should keep the same amount of oak planks in there forever. All right, let's go take a look. Yep, see how there's still 21 in there? There's still 21 exactly. Or 27 and 21. That's exactly what we had in there. That's proof that it works. Because the problem is they'll start overflowing, because if you don't get these numbers right, if we don't divide that by 2, very quickly you're going to have items just all over the place. You're just going to be like blah 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 blah. Hang on. Like that. They're going to be piled up on top of it, and you're not going to be happy. So this is probably a really important like primer for how to how to invent these systems, because people are going to discover very quickly when 1.20 drops that this is actually an important component of scaling the amount of ingredients you need by certain ratios. And people are going to be shocked when things get complicated really quickly. 1.21 drops and they start playing with it and they're like, it keeps overflowing. Help me, my thing is overflowing. You know what I should do? I should make a video on it. I could probably clip some of this video, but I'll probably make a cleaner contraption that's easier to understand. But explain how to do redstone I need to send a pulse every 3 ticks. How do I do that? Because I need 3 redstone torches. Well, that's what I just showed you right here. That's what this is doing. It's a 4-tick binary counter. This is the hypothetical that I was talking about doing instead of these. So instead of doing these 2 in very large complex systems where you don't want, where you at least want it to be quiet maybe, and you don't want a bunch of stuff moving all over and causing a bunch of lag, this is the easiest way to do binary counters. And so this might look big and less friendly than that, but this is half of this machine. And if I needed to make it everything over here, I would literally just add another block here. And that would be 8. And if I need to do 16, I would add 1 more block. And so it gets very smart very fast. So that's something to be aware of. Is it's going to it's going to become super compact because it scales so well. But this is what should we do a 5? Should we do like a 5 or like a 7? That'd be a fun experiment. We could do a 5 or 7 real quick. Let's do that real quick. So if I were to do a every 5th tick pulse, how would you guys do it? 5th tick would be really interesting. Do 5 and 7. What about what's the song? 3s and 7s. Anybody play Guitar Hero 3, or am I just showing my age? Good music, good times. So yeah, observer like this. So this is our 4-tick, and so over here, Queens of the Stone Age. Yep. So when we wrapped it around, we subtracted 1. So essentially, firing the counter multiple times is reducing how many. And so what you can do is, if every time we do it, we can subtract, it will. Right, Conyer. So it's much more interesting if you do that. And so how do you make it? How do you make 5 out of +1 and minus, or out of -1 and... Let me think about this real quick. Because every 5th is going to get... What if you need to make an automated boat generator? I'm like sitting here thinking, like, is there a practical use for this? Like, I love to do that, because the thing is, you're in math class and you ask the teacher, when are we ever going to use this? And the answer is quite simple, which is boats, minecarts, anything that takes 5 of something. Yeah, auto boats. So if we're going to make auto boats, we're going to need to have a 5. So this went from an interesting academic exercise to, oh no, we can't make automatic crafting without our 5. So let's think about this for a minute. So if we add another one, like I said, this takes us up to 8, and then we can just add in some extra triggers to slow it down, right? So here's what I'm thinking, is if one of these fires every other time, we might be able to loop that in. Hang on. So twice every 8 rounds. So if the one that lights up twice during the 8 block cycle, if we detect that, we can use that to subtract 2. Does it make sense? The extra signals make it go faster, and that serves as subtraction. I just want to be clear on that. More is actually less in this case. So let's go redstone dust. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do this. So let's start off with our well, we want to have enough room to be able to operate. We can probably make it more compact, but I'm not thinking about it right now. I rather minimal brain cells. So we're gonna put Haha, so the lamp went off. And if we did it right, it should go off every 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boop, it goes off. And so now what we want to do is we want to subtract 3. So we want to go every 5th time. And so as you can see, it's just going to be easier to do subtraction. So let's look at these really closely. One of them is changing between on and off twice because of the nature of powers of 2s. There's like going to be a 2, a 4, and an 8 in here. The 8's on the end, obviously. So one of them is turning on and off twice during the whole operation. Can you tell that it's the? So this one is really just the same as the observer, honestly. Whether this is every time this one changes, the observer fires. We don't even really need this. This is kind of we do because of the little light bulb, because of the little red dot. It'll otherwise the observer fails. So what we need to do is this one then. So this is the 8. This one's the 4. So this one's only going to go once every 8 times. This will go once every 4 times, which is twice. And so now we know that this signal is going to change twice during the clock cycle. So this should give us a 6 if we did it correctly. Loop back. Hang on. Remember not to let things loop back. And so this will only go around. So this is going to fire back through here. And so what this should do now is if we did it right, 6, it should go every 6 times. Now that's assuming we're on the right count. So we might have to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that went off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, my brain's not working. That just triggered. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we did 5. I have a question. Why? What did I do? I think one of the things that's happening is there's a delay here, and it's ignoring the signal on certain. It's getting mixed up. It's crossing its wires at some point. Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, there we go, Raven. Why? That doesn't count. Okay, so it should have been 6 because we just took once every other time and we looped it back through. I think the problem is it's happening too quickly, where it's going woof, and so it's basically as if it never happened. So we're sending a pulse. So this one just stays on a little bit longer because of how quickly it came through. So one of our pulses is not getting our extra pulses is not getting counted. So let's make it light up again. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aha, I was right. No worries, Payne. So that's 6. And so now if we were to do our 5, then it would literally be... Oh, you know what? We have the loop back here already. No. We already had it. We just introduced the problem. So it is 5. The answer is... So that did count. We say that doesn't count. So this will do 6. That's what it is. So we were actually good. I broke my own machine by adding delays. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is... It's a little misleading because you're seeing this light up every time, but ultimately this one's only firing twice. And so that allows us to subtract 2. And so now, so what you're getting out of this is a generalizing. I want you to be able to think of this generally because this is going to matter in Minecraft. So if you need 7 of them, then all you have to do is this, which is -1. But if you've got an 8 and you need to turn it into a 4 for some reason, you could put 1 here. And this one's going to fire every other time. And so that one's going to give you a -4. So this is -4, -2, -1. And so we're allowing ourselves, this is redundant, so this is the same -1. So -1 coming out of the end, -2, -4, -8. And so what we could do, so let's make it harder. Let's make this even harder just to demonstrate our point. What's a really stupid number in between 0 and 16? So now that we're doing 16 pulses, what's it, like 11 maybe? Let's do something that's obnoxious. 11 sounds obnoxious. You guys think that'll work? 11 sounds really obnoxious. Okay, so let's make it light up real quick. It's going to take us all day. I just clicked it again. Okay, so that's the first count. So we did 1. All right, so now if we want to do 11, in order to do 11, we need to take 16 and we need to subtract numbers so that we get 16. So use the biggest number you can subtract. This is the way to calculate what something is in binary, is you can kind of go from the biggest places. So the 16 is off, and so the 8 would be on. So we're gonna subtract. So if we subtract 8, we're not gonna have enough. And so if you subtract 8 from 16, you have 8 left. Can you subtract 4 from that? Yeah. So let's take the 4. Honestly, it's just going to be the 4 and the 1. And so what we're going to do is because it's an odd number, it's going to come in through here. So we are going to use this line. And then we're just going to, instead of doing, let's get out our signs, actually, so that you guys can think about it. I've been doing engineering stuff in the real world for so long that I have to, stuff exists in my brain that might not exist, that didn't, let's say, it didn't exist in my brain before I was in this degree. It's not an intelligence thing, it's a brain hurdy thing, and your brain has to hurdy for a couple years before you're able to do some of this in your head. All right, so these are our numbers we're dealing with. So if we need to subtract 5 from 16, and we'll go ahead and put a number 1 on this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract this 4. So we'll subtract 4 and 1. So if I take an observer here and I put this here, that should do 11. That should do 11 just fine. That didn't happen. That doesn't count. That's going to become a thing now. So that should do it. That should do 11. And so now, let's make sure this can reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not going to reach. Not even close. That's fine. So now, I already flipped it once. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hang on. There we go. So we may have adjusted it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Boop, 11. There we go. So now you have an every 11th time it fires that observer, it'll send a redstone pulse. Neato, right? Very, very important to get this down, because when you start crafting things and you need 7, to do a automatic cauldron printer, that you're obviously what every survival needs is an infinite supply of cauldrons generated by their iron golem farm. Obviously, everybody needs infinite cauldrons, obviously. So if you need 7 iron ingots per if you need to put in 7 iron ingots and you just go pop, 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 and after every 7th one you trigger it, how would we alter this so that it goes and does it every 7th? Well, we have 16. We can subtract 8. We can subtract 1. So notice that we can take these longer machines that are slower and we can speed them up by simply speeding them up by subtracting. So we could take this here and we could take the 1 here, and that should do it. So we subtract 8 from 16. That should give us 8 and then 1. So let's make it light up real quick so that we can prove it. So that lights up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. See? Hey, Slurpee, how are you doing? Today was a good day. It's getting better because we're getting better at Redstone. We're learning some interesting things about 1.21. So yeah, that is a really interesting way to do it. Now, I will warn you, prove it correct, but also try it, because as I just demonstrated, if you get some of these repeaters off, what can happen is one of these fires to send a pulse, and you're stuck in a situation where 2 pulses are being fired, and they fire at the same time, and it ends up canceling it out. So what you'll probably want to do, is do something like this. You'll probably want to stagger them if you're doing subtraction. Let's do 16 minus 4, 8, 7, minus 4 is 3. This one is probably going to break. This one's probably not going to work, because I think they're going to, nope, actually, because it has to pass through the comparator, it might actually still work. You might still not have problems. So this, in theory, we're passing the 1 the 4 and the 8, this should actually produce 3. So it should go every third one. Let's make it light up. 3. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking we've got some problems here. As I suspected, as I predicted. You see how it fires twice? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see how it's going on 4 instead of 3? You know what that implies? To me, that implies something very specific, which is that the 1 is not working, which means that we need to have a delay so that the 1 can trigger on its own pulse. Now you'll notice that you probably want to speed this down a little bit at some point. 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, did you see that? I swear it didn't. I swear it didn't make it all the way through. All right, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend doing anything bigger than you have to. So this is kind of an anti-pattern. Don't make it bigger than you need to make it. If you need to make it 3, do it like we did here. Just keep it simple. KISS principle. So KISS principle is a term used in classic pull program, which means keep it simple, stupid. And some people have tried to butter that up in modern times. We see someone say like, oh, keep it stupidly simple. No, 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 no. It is not keep it stupidly simple because we don't want to be mean. No, it's keep it simple because you're stupid. You're stupid. I'm stupid. But that's a good rule of thumb, is keep it simple because we are not as smart as we think we are. And so that's a good rule to live by. But yeah, so the lesson here is if you're going to do a small number, don't do a 32 or whatever, because your subtractions start adding up and they get in the way of each other. But yeah, if we get rid of all this hullabaloo, that will do 11 just fine. This is how we had it. But yeah, so if you just need to go up the next tier number. So you have, this is our 4, this is our 2, just like this over here. So yeah, that's going to be really crucial for when you're crafting this. This is going to be a really big part of 1.21. So let's talk trial chambers, shall we? So trial chambers. What do we got in here? What do we got in here? All right. So creative builders are going to love this. We got new blocks. It just doesn't stand out right now. Hang on. Let's make our blank wall of examination here. So we got that block, and these chiseled tough bricks. I'm super excited for them. We're going to be able to make. Oh, there's a big thing. Another set of stairs. Builders will know that stairs are a really big thing. So we've got tough brick stairs, polished brick stairs, and tough stairs. So we actually got 3 new flights of stairs. So for those of us who are always pining, and some of us are, whoa, 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 hold on. What? I don't like that. That looks funky. Okay, personal opinion. Sorry, my eyeballs went, don't like. So yeah, so we've got 3 new stairs for starters. That's right, Raven. It looks like actual concrete. We've got something that might actually go in with concrete stairs. So if we go like concrete, you get light gray concrete. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's working. That's working that's working for me. Yeah. Concrete, concrete, concrete. Stormy might join the live stream, maybe. She said she was interested in it. If anybody, Connie or Raven, if either of you want to join on my Discord server, just join one of the voice chats and I'll drag you in. But yeah, this is I would actually prefer that, since I want to hear, at least you, Raven, I kind of want to hear someone talk about blocks here, because I'm not actually a beautiful builder and Raven is. But so that's going to be a pallet, and then we're going to be adding this block. I will check the Discord if you guys are interested. Oh, I'm not actually connected. That's hilarious. Live stream. There we go. There we go. These will not suffocate in them. That was a bug that they tried to implement it and then they didn't, and then they did. So in the latest version, which we're playing, they fixed it. They've also got these wax chisel copper blocks. So these are neato burrito. I'm a fan. Hang on, got my windows. I don't have a fancy Steam Stream Deck thingamajig. And then we've got these. We've got the keys. We still don't know what they do. These are going to specify what type of thing appears. I want to say. I can't remember. One of them indicates strays. I want to say it's like. So this is sandstone actually. It's not a bone block. I had the pattern figured out in my head. There's another block. There you guys are. There you guys are. Welcome, Conyer and Raven. Awesome. Now, I don't know if we can you hear yourself in the live stream is the one thing, because I got to make sure my input and output devices are pointing in the right place. It might be about 30 seconds or so, yeah. But I want to make sure your voice might not be coming through if I'm misconfigured. Okay, you're not there. So that's an easy fix. All I have to do is come in here to desktop audio and go properties. Now try. Hello? Oh wait, I can actually see the desktop audio coming through. So I know that you are not working, is what I'm trying to say. Hang on. We'll figure it out. Give me a second. Properties. Oh, it's set to the like game mode. Now talk.
Hello?
Ah, yes, there you are. You'll show through. I have the little bars. Get used to using little bars, and you can become really good at YouTube. So you got the little colored green, yellow, red bars. So you guys should be able to hear each other now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to be like, I can't let people into my voice chat. All right. Yeah, you should confirm, but you should be able to hear your own voice now. So we've got.
It was on, but it's pitch dark in my room. Thank God you can see anything.
Welcome back, Payne. I got lost. I know that might come as a shock, but these things are not as easy to navigate as they look like.
Wait, I can't hear myself on the stream.
You can't hear yourself on the stream? You should.
Raven, but I can't hear me.
Uh-oh.
You can hear Raven.
Oh no, there we go. Just fix it.
There you go. I was going to say you will, because I'm seeing big green bars that flash pretty loud when.
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah. All righty. So, what do you guys think of the trial chambers thus far? Have you been following the updates?
No.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Let me give like a for dummies like summary of it then.
I know basically what it is, but
so
I haven't been.
It is a lootable.
Closely.
So it's a lootable structure that is kind of like the strongholds, and they have a bunch of enemy spawners that. Oh gosh. Effect give. If I wasn't on single player, I'd do a server stream. Plasma, regeneration, infinite, level up. Let's do 2. Particles are annoying. Okay, so now I won't die.
Are they like monster box? Do the spawners go away after a certain time, or do they just keep spawning?
Okay, fun fact about
okay. That might be a problem.
Oh yeah, those are strays. Fun fact about the spawners is that they have no tool to break them, and they take 4 minutes to break.
Okay.
Yeah, they are designed to not be breakable. So that's interesting. So I think what I need to do is I need to get myself some armor. Let's go to creative mode. So there's going to be a key that you have to that is a rare loot drop in one of these loot items. Netherite. What I underestimated is, if I just have regeneration 2, I should be fine. No, not if you don't have any armor whatsoever.
That's true.
Okay.
Achilles be strong.
Yeah, so now I can be in survival mode and I can be bullied all I want. Yeah, there we go. We can go give, Dr. Plasma. Just a basic sword. We just want to play with them. Netherite.
Ow, ow,
I
ow.
know. Don't underestimate the power of infinity. Okay, so these so the sandstone is a sign that they're the think sandstone is found in the desert. What's found in the desert? These guys.
Husks.
And I think what they're having you do is you have to light it up instead. So if I get a torch, so what they'll do, I think they're wanting to make these like dark and unlit like this, and then you have to come in and what is it, wax? I'm trying to remember.
No.
Unwax.
Polish.
Yeah.
That.
With the
Oh, you mean the bulbs? Yes. You have to use an.
What's it called? X? That's right. Oh shush. Yeah, like that. So they think that's the goal, is to make it so that you have to do this so they don't spawn anymore. What door are you banging on? They need to work out that sound.
Okay, so actually, about the trial spawners, light level has no effect on their spawns. They can spawn.
Oh my word! Did you see that? He's one of the zombies who can break down the... Zombies can break down copper doors. That's a test! That's a test! I don't think any of the YouTubers have summarized that. They can only break down oak doors, and apparently wood doors, and apparently copper doors are included. So they can't break down iron doors, but apparently these don't count as metal doors. So that is a fun fact. Welcome to Fun Facts with Plasma. We just learned something that I don't know if has really been covered. So what I want to understand is there's a key block. There's a key block that you can have. Oh,
the key does nothing.
The key does nothing just yet, I want to say.
Yeah.
That irks me. That irks me. But I want to see something. So it's cute that it does nothing, but that's not enough for me. I see a neat trick. You throw your armor on the ground like this. When you're in creative mode, and you go clear. Fastest inventory clean ever. All right. So what we're gonna do? I want to find a key. Okay. So here's the issue. The issue is the key probably has some NBT data or something interesting attached to it, but not if I spawn one in. I'm intending. I don't want to find the stuff that everybody else is. Everybody and the dog and their cat has done a video where they. Here's what I found, and that's cute. But all right, let's go spectator for a minute. We're gonna look at all these chests.
Are you looking for a key in the chests? Because the keys do not spawn in chests. You have to beat the trial spawners in order for the spawner to give you a key.
Oh, you have to beat the trial spawners.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
Now, how do you... Now, remind me, what is the win condition for the trial spawner, then?
So it's not light level, right? Because the light level, they do ignore light level. The win condition is just there's a set amount of mobs you have to kill, and after you've killed that many, there's a 30-minute cooldown. Now, if you can activate that 30-minute cooldown, it'll give you some loot.
Interesting. Well, I guess I know what we're doing. All right, let's try and... Oh, that was cool. You see that?
No, I did not. Yeah, no, okay.
There was a really cool particle effect where it like launched.
Yeah, I posted about that in your Discord a little bit ago.
I love new particles. I love new particles. Hang on, we gotta go.
It looks really cool if you like make mobs teleport out using those particles. It's awesome.
There we go. Yeah, they're like these golden particles. I don't want to start it over, otherwise I'd show people. I'm going to end up dying with my regeneration too.
There's a lot of strays in here.
All right, there's regeneration 4. Haha, try and beat me now. I might be on survival, but that doesn't make me a pushover. There we go.
Oh, you got down to half a heart. That was close.
Yeah, it was close. Very close. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to, So I guess we just have to defeat them, and then they'll be happy? Question mark?
Yeah.
Do you know roughly how many mobs it'll make?
I don't know the exact number, but I do know that when it's done, there's a loot table that it spits out. It has a 50% chance of
Give me keys! Stop shooting me, for the love of...
Thing other than...
For the love of Notch. Oh gosh, I'm a pincushion. We represent the Pincushion Guild. I am a pincushion right now. I'm going to end up losing this netherite armor. So, did I win? I did! I did! I did! We got a trial key. All right. Mission
Sweet.
accomplished. All right, so here's what we want to check right now. What we want to check right now is what happens with this. What is the behavior of this key when it is given to us? So what I'm curious to see is it's entirely possible that the trial key has some data associated with it that they're going to be using in the future. And so if let's take this and I'm going to clone it.
So no, here's what you, if you want to look at the data on it, just hold it in your hand, say /data, get entity at S, and then selected item.
At S. Selected item?
Yeah, one word, both capitalized.
Selected item, selected.
No. So, yeah. I'm sorry, your stream's a little bit behind.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Has the following entity data. Trial count? That's just the count. That isn't.
So
okay, so it doesn't have anything. So they actually haven't implemented it yet. Okay, that was important because they might have had something lurking in there for us to poke around with. Anyway, so what do you guys think the key is going to be for? Any theories? I think it's probably going to be used to unlock some kind of like locked chest that they haven't implemented. I know there's been this idea of playing around with locked chests for the longest time. And I suspect, let's do this. Effect, give me night vision. Yes, don't care. Yes, there we go.
One of the biggest theories I've seen, which is completely far-fetched and I don't believe at all, but I'm hoping it's true, is that it's used to unlock the ancient city portal.
Yeah, press X to doubt. Let's look at it real quick. It's got a skull on it and it's got a bunch of copper on it. I don't think it's going to the ancient city. They would have designed it with the skull coloration on it if that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
And they would have left that as a big hint. Just from a game design standpoint, making things feel coherent is really important from an artistic standpoint, and they made it feel like it belongs to something in here. Now, that doesn't mean it's a chest. It could be like a door or something.
Right.
I mean, there's an entire we can get crazy and say maybe they're going to add a portal in here too.
There could be just locking behind other parts of the trial dungeon. So you go into one room and you can't progress until you get a key from that room to go to the next room.
Right.
I don't know if that would be that obnoxious with it, but they could.
Oh no, I guess I have to dig through the wall.
Right.
So imagine if they added an entire new dimension that's related to the trial chamber and still didn't add anything for the ancient city.
I mean,
well, I don't think it's Mojang. They are run by a bunch of HR people who are in sales and marketing who've never played the game and they don't care about you. That might sound really controversial, but it's true. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of the situation. They don't care about you, and they care about their mine coins and farming money off of kids' wallets and basically turning Bedrock into a Candy Crush Minecraft. So that's Java ends up being the butt of the situation a lot of times when it comes to parity. It took them forever to get those paintings added, the elemental ones. But yeah, that's just the reality of the situation. I'll probably never have my Mojang exclusive endorsements if I ever blow up as a YouTuber because I'm not willing to lie to people. I'm not willing to go, oh, sure, I'll play Minecraft Legends. I'm just like, no, the whole community's going, I don't want your stupid game. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm not going to get your exclusive deals, but tough cookie. It's a...
But hey, copper pretty.
What is better? What's worth... I know. What's worth more, your soul or money? I do like these copper grates. These copper grates are neato burrito. I'm a big fan.
Alone are phenomenal. That's...
What I have
are you so Raven? Are you saying they're a great addition? Do you think they're a great addition?
They are great. They are so great.
They're a great addition.
What I've been wanting in the game for the longest time is a block that entities cannot move through, but water can freely move through. I don't think it's ever going to be added, but I was like, if it did, the grates would be perfect.
That would be a cool addition.
It would be. I do like how they contain it just like mangrove roots. That's kind of makes me happy. I'm a fan. You know what you could do?
I asked for, and it's called a grate.
I like how you played enough Terraria to be like, wait a minute, Minecraft. You mean to tell me? You know what you could? Okay, so here's a realization. This is true for mangrove roots. You can make a storage container for your water buckets. And you could
Yeah.
store buckets of water in these. Like, they can become a water storage system. Okay, so now we have to go back to the redstone questions, which is, what can you move them? Because I know that there are issues with being able to push but not pull, or something with mangrove roots. They're kind of funky. So the question I have is, can we easily and safely and completely push these and pull these as we like? No! No! No!
Yeah, the water. Wait, so it completely deletes the water block with
That's
a great.
okay. So
Good.
there's a
That's also weird.
there's a silver lining to this, which is that's exactly how the mangrove roots work. So the next question, the follow-up question is, do we at least have the benefits that the of the one tick pulses? So if I put an observer here, like this, boop, and we say go. Okay, so that doesn't work. One of the one tick pulse glitches allows you to, maybe you can pull it along. So the question then is, does this flow? No. Okay, so it just, the water goes away no matter what. We can't, there's nothing we can do. That makes me really sad.
It
That
would be
makes,
so cool to have something where you could like toggle whether the source block spreads or not, but the source block always stays there.
right.
And it's like if the grade is there, then it stops spreading to the surrounding water. And if you take it away, it spreads.
See that? See that when it pushes it, when mangrove roots get pushed, they keep their water. So you can push them with one tick pulses, but you can't do it with grates because they hate you. Because I'm sure there are reasons, but I don't agree with those reasons.
Because we hate you.
I know that I sound like a Debbie Downer who, not great. I'm like, why am I not finding it?
They
Great.
should add crates. Crates are cool.
Crates are cool,
Let's add a waxed exposed copper grate.
especially when they're like shulker boxes.
Okay, sorry, I missed the test case. I didn't do it. So you can push it. Oh wait, no, you can't. Hang on.
Wait, it
Hang
got rid
on.
of the other water?
I think
That's
so.
really weird.
That is
Wait,
really
what?
weird. That was the water.
Uh-oh.
Water detection. Yeah, so you can push them. Okay, so they function exactly identical to mangrove roots. You can't pull water, but you can push it. Which almost makes sense. Almost.
Huh.
Almost? Question mark?
I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
You can lead a horse to water,
Let's
but all you can do is push it.
Right.
I think that's how that goes.
You can lead a horse to water and push it. Here's an interesting. Let me think about this. Hang on. Let me think about this. I've got an idea. Light bulb. Light bulb moment.
Lamp.
Lamp. Lamp moment. Copper bulb moment. Bing. Okay, if no YouTuber uses that as a stupid joke where a bulb appears above their head now that we have bulbs, I'm gonna be mad if nobody makes that joke. So, anybody making humorous Minecraft videos, here's your chance. So
I've just used the texture for the light block because it's literally a light bulb.
right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the thing that I just showcased early in the stream, which is slime. And we're gonna go like this. And we're gonna have an observer. We're gonna go.
Wait, sorry, this is a little bit off topic, but does this mean we can stick coral to waterlogged grates?
Probably.
Yes!
Stick coral to waterlogged slab.
Yes, you can stick coral to waterlogged anything. That is an interesting realization. Guys, I gotta make a mining board that has living coral on it and not dead coral. Just for the memes, just for the fancy, just to be, I am become fancy.
Look,
we
I'm
have to
on
do.
brand. On brand with my magenta coral.
Okay, so it does have to be a one tick pulse right there. You see how that Didn't work out. Okay, so that looks like that did not stay. So that's unfortunate. Oh no, the water went away. That's what it was, and it didn't move with it. So with the slime block. So let's do observer. So what you're moving is every time it moves, and in order to not have that double flicker, you got to put another block in the way. This is why some of the times your flying machines end up seeming like they're really complicated. Like, why do we have all these blocks and weird voodoo? There's always a simple answer, and in this particular case, moving forward and firing, boop, like that is what's going to keep us alive. So now let's go. It's great. All right. So now, okay, that did not work out. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so we got our water. So now let's do this.
Coral on it?
Coral. Coral fan. Do we have to put it on that block? Which block is it? I know I've done this before. Do you have to push it? This feels like a dumb question. Help me out here, Minecraft. I build mining
didn't even
boards
know you
all
could
of the time. This feels like a Plasma's being an idiot.
Wait, is it actually a weird discrepancy between dead versus alive?
That would be hilarious if true.
Mm.
I'm going to laugh my head off if that's what it is. Oh my gosh, that's what it is. Really? Really? I can't use a live coral? I'm kind of dead horn coral fan. Now let's do horn coral
I am a
fan. Maybe I didn't do the
fan.
fan. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Only the dead ones. Hang on. I'm getting
Does that
mixed
make sense?
results here. I'm getting mixed results
That-
here. Yep. I'm annoyed. That's lame. Lame. Okay, so,
What?
yeah, I'm a little, that's a little lame.
Dead coral has more sticking power than live coral, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. All right, so when we push this block, I want it to push a bunch of other blocks, and I will show you why in a second. I want to push, hang on. We only have 12 blocks to work with here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm dumb. I think I know what I need to do. Yeah, because I want 2 blocks, it's going to do that. All right, there we go. There we go. No. Okay, that's just rude. That's just rude. So you can't push any other blocks that push it. You have to push the block directly? Okay, that's awkward.
Mojang, fix your game, bro.
I know. Well, we want to move the water around. And so in order to move the water around, okay, so here was the original plan. The plan here is I want to know, that's how many blocks? That's 7. 8, 9. I want to know what the effect of having a water block is here with being able to move some of that around. But the catch is having to do this. I don't think this is going to be movable. I mean, that will be movable, so it's not really that big of an issue. I completely messed up. I moved the wrong. I did. Congratulations, Plasma. You deleted the wrong one. Freaking moron. All right. So, all right.
I'm thinking about this from like a code standpoint. You'd think there would be one like function acting on the block that says, okay, move over by 1 as a result of a piston, or like as a result of being pushed by anything. But it almost seems like the code, it's like entirely different lines of code for being moved by a piston.
Yeah, it does.
Being pushed
It does
by a
feel like
piston.
that, doesn't it? Welcome to the pain of being a
Like-
redstoner. It's just like, Mojang, can you please fix your game? It would be really nice if you could fix your game. I would love it.
It's inconsistent, and from a coding perspective, that's probably completely unoptimized too.
Oh, that's right. You can't stick to non-slime. Non-slime blocks can help the whole thing move, but that's it. I kind of want to see what we do with like water puddles that are Yeah, see, it's just erasing. It's just erasing. Oh. Hang on. The gears are turning in my brain. Hang on. Hang on. I just came up with a new invention. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. It's going to be complicated, but it's going to be cool. So, you know how... You know how infinite water source block, right? Infinite water source block. It's a wonderful thing. Infinite source. If you only
Oh
destroy
my god, I
one of
think
them
I
at a
see what you're
time,
going for.
you're higher IQ than me, so you probably know where I'm going. So if I move, okay, so if I move this one in, it'll destroy that one. Now, let me think about this. Let me think. I want to create an infinite. I want to create an infinite sliding infinite water supply. I think we can do it. The new one just has to be generated. Hang on. The rules of water are tricky.
Okay, I'm thinking about it right now, and I may be a little bit premature about this, but I don't think that's going to be possible at
I
all.
think you're
And here's
right.
why.
I think you're
And
right.
here's why.
Go ahead.
Because for an infinite water source to work, it has to be surrounded on at least, or the new block has to have water on at least two of its sides, has to have sources on at least two of its sides.
Right. And
And
we
that's
can't put one
basically,
forward.
you can't put one forward exactly. So in order to generate one
Right.
forward, you have to be generating it
You
from
have to
entirely
already.
behind.
I'm thinking in terms of this moving and recreating one here. But the problem is that doesn't answer what to do with the one here. So there's kind of like a chain reaction. It's an infinite. Yeah. The need is infinitely in that direction. I know there are glitches where people use ice blocks. I don't want to do that though. I want to, if it's possible. Let me think about this for a minute. I think you're right that it's impossible.
Yeah, because I mean, what you'd have to be doing is
You'd
generating a
need
new water
something on this
supply
side.
ahead of all the existing ones, and that would mean, a water source can't be generated from only
Well,
one
it's
direction.
really as simple as movable. I mean, this is my complaint about not having some of the carpet functionality, but just movable dispensers that can hold a water bucket. Like that would solve the problem.
No. I think I solved it. What about stairs or like slabs
Stairs?
that are waterlogged?
You can waterlog
Can
it.
you, can you move a waterlogged slab in the same way you can move a waterlogged grate? That's the question.
I think so. Yes.
Because if so, then this infinite water source thing is possible.
All right, so we need to. This is not built to be moved. This is
We
a.
can have our flying infinity pool.
I
now.
know. I'm excited. So we're gonna proof of concept. We found out we can only move dead coral fans, not alive coral fans. Thank you, Minecraft. Very cool. Totally makes perfect sense. Totally isn't bizarre and strange and nonsensical. So here's a neat trick. Like that. Go like that. All right, so that is the proof of concept for moving the individual grate. So now for slabs, we want to prove that it can do the same thing. So if I take a slab source here and we fire it, oh my word. That's a movable water source block.
Oh my god, it works.
I'm sure somebody's done this before. Like I've seen water spreaders, but they always use like a funky ice thing. All right, so now we have to do the insane thing because the insane thing is more fun. All right, yeah, so exactly like the other one, it doesn't work. So let's do the insane thing now, and the insane thing is miscellaneous block, and followed by the actual machine itself, which pulls and pushes. And so we need a non-sticky. Fun fact: when you're trying to build slimestone, you only the sticky side always is pulling, and the non-sticky are always pushing. So if you're ever watching somebody build a big complicated slimestone, that's like, oh, I don't know what any of that does. It's so complicated. If it faces backwards, it's a sticky piston. If it faces forwards, it's not sticky. No exceptions. I see no exceptions, having seen like 30 different builds. I've never, ever seen an exception. Yeah. So now what you have here is a dangerous case of the water generator. But what I kind of okay, so here was the original idea. Now that we're getting what we wanted, what I was thinking of is just like making some sort of like swimming pool that moves. One of the ideas I had for an SMP in the future, I want to do like a around the world in 80 days type of thing where we build like a giant airship that we're flying around in and doing stuff in and traveling. And the more items you can get that are see that? And so I have this like little swimming pool that I can play in. It's not big, but I can make it bigger pretty easily. Okay, I screwed that up again. I think it's because this one's not attached. It should be attached there. Don't need that one. Do need that one. Hold on. Are we over 12 blocks? I don't think so. Oh, wait. No. It's that one we don't need. We got to get rid of every block we can. There we go. Why are you going faster? Oh, the water's acting as a bud. That's hilarious. It was moving by itself because the water was budding. So if you catch up, you ready? If you catch up, it'll just continue to fire. We made a semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic.
Hold on. We have to have this like annoying. Oh, it's not going to do it anymore because it's only coming out of the side. You had to have, you know what. There you go. Now it'll take forever to go down. There we go. That's funny.
You can rain down water.
It's so glitchy. I love it. It's like a random, because the water fluctuates almost randomly, it's like a random movement.
Oh, actual Brownian motion, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it's using the like pseudo-random behavior of water as it changes height as a bud of this piston. So every time it updates here underneath this piston. Oh gosh. It's
not broken. It's fine.
It just goes for like a random amount of time.
I know, it's like a random number generator for movement. It's so cursed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I don't think it's the same pattern. No.
No, it's definitely not.
That's hilarious, and it leaves a nasty trail in its wake.
Working as intended.
Look behind it. Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is nothing if you haven't seen the like ocean generators people make that do this, but like super wide. But they use like some funky mechanics with sliding a frost boots, a Frostwalker pair of boots on a armor stand up against some ice to freeze it and unfreeze it a bunch of times. And I think that's stupid and really finicky. This is not finicky. This is, hey guys, let's just move a half slab because why not?
I want to raise the ocean here.
I want to raise the ocean.
Here we go.
And so if you want to have your own little like swimming pool in here, this is as many blocks as you can move roughly, but you could always go and do honey blocks on the other side and just move it in conjunction. And just build your have your swimming pool to play in while you're sailing around. I think this would be fun. Now okay, so new Redstone project, not for the stream, but new Redstone project, giant moving swimming pool. Because why not? I want to build a giant swimming pool.
If you had multiple slabs, then you could actually do the water generator thing. Like it would create source blocks at every step.
Right. Right.
You know?
Well, you can also just lead them. You can lead them ahead of the charge, yeah. I mean, I think you have to push them directly is the only challenge. It looked like when we pushed a block that pushes it, it went away. You have to the piston has to be the one that does the pushing, which is kind of dumb. But I do think we are on the cusp of building a giant moving swimming pool, which would be hilarious. It's one of those like dumb builds that I want to do just to say I did it and then have a video on it. I think it would be amusing, and that's enough. I'm never going to be big on YouTube. Why bother? But that would be great though. A lot of this isn't essential if you're just pushing. So like, let's say for example, so this block right here is pushing this block. It's pushing this block. So for example, we can put this right here, and that'll pull it just fine. Now this honey blocks are not hooked up to they don't have a sibling. They could, if we wanted them to have a sibling, they could have a sibling. It would look
Okay,
something
but
like this.
another question might be like, do
4.
pools have that, or do slabs have that same annoying mechanic where they only spread their water if you push them directly with the piston?
Right. Right.
Because if they get pushed by anything else, they have different code and the water disappears.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Yep. 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 All right. So I
this is a really
think.
no big picture game.
Uh-oh. What happened? Why did it not work? Did I break it? I broke it.
Oops, you broke it.
That's hilarious. That makes me really happy. There we go.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. You're
There we
beginning.
go.
You're getting.
Oh no, wait.
Hang on. This was all really great in my head. It was really, really smart, and I was very clever. And then I woke up. All right. Is that symmetrical? It looks symmetrical, but like shaders really make your honey and slime. Yeah, the moving swimming pool. You know what the moving swimming pool needs? It needs to be a randomly moving swimming pool, because of course it does. So we got to put these up here so that it makes it move down slower.
So if you want to join the swimming pool, you just have to jump up the sides when they're passing over.
This is
Floating islands always have like waterfalls spilling off of them, and you wonder how they have an infinite amount of water to do that. Well, this is it. This is how floating islands work.
if we want to build a moving floating island. Yeah. This
You
is
can hire cabana boys to keep activating it so you can float across the water.
My watery throne. This is fun.
Somebody.
Yep. This is the quality content people come to my channel for. Is randomly moving flying swimming pools. Yeah, but does your flying swimming pool move randomly? Oh boy. Oh my goodness. That's a this is talking about builds and upcoming builds and stuff we can do with Redstone. That's a good kind of segue to some of the future stuff I'm doing on the channel. So let me talk about like two of the videos that I have coming out soon. So if you'll forgive a possible black scene here for a second, I'm going to pull up some unedited video clips and show you guys what's going on. Hello, Marazu. Marazu's here.
Marazu.
So Servant, you're saying now we print water. It's just like, haha, I've made infinite water. Then it starts raining.
It's raining.
That's funny. Very easy. Now you could you probably put a cauldron on this and push it around, and then you have a water collector on your flying swimming pool. That would be a thing. But anyway, let me get out of Minecraft real quick, and I'm going to switch to desktop view, question mark. Hang on, let me check the properties. I want to make sure I don't lose you guys. Properties. Okay. So, I want to switch to, there we go. It's in live chat. So let me pull up some videos that I've got coming queued, and I'll show you guys some of the projects I've been working on, because this is still our 3K celebration, because it took me a year to get from 2 to 3K because I'm terrible. So I am working on a ultimate tunnel borer that is a game changer. It is absolutely, I'm super excited about it. Ultimate tunnel borer, where is it? Tunnel mining borer ultimate. That's what I'm looking for the folder name. Mining borer ultimate. So this is, you guys should be able to hear the audio for it. This is my first editing clip, but But this tunnel bore is going to be... Oh, that's right. So I'm actually doing a couple different cuts. So this is the mining bore. I can actually there's probably a better video clip. I have one where I'm moving with it. Hang on, let me see. Oh, I have a Discord preview that I made for people. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Okay. The video stream's finally caught up. So I'm really excited for this project. This project, Raven Kanye, are you still there? I'm gonna make sure the audio is still picking you up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
listening, I'm sorry.
this is something I put together on. I started working on it towards the beginning of this, a little bit before the Skyfall SMP, but I've been trying to get this together for like, at this point it's been years. So the idea is essentially this right here. When you are blowing up TNT, if you do a whole bunch of them in a row, you have this problem where you don't have... I can pull you in, Ping. You have this problem where you have to check for diamond ore. So if you build an observation deck like this, then you don't have to check for the diamond ore. And so there are a number of fully automatic mining bores out there, but they don't give you is a way to stop when you hit diamond ore. So you end up just destroying diamond ore. So will they mine through rock fast? Yes, but then what do you do when you need to stop? And this is my answer to it. So I've got two buttons on the front of them. You can see the two frontmost note blocks here. The frontmost note block, what it will do is it will trigger a pair of double... I made a moving double piston extender that is part of a slimestone machine. This is I can't zoom in on this, unfortunately. But in the distance, you can see there's a double piston extender. You'll see the two pistons facing to the right and the observers on top of them. And I managed to figure out how to time it so that it's not extended so it doesn't get left behind. And also important so that it doesn't mess up the engine that's moving back and forth. There's a vertical line here on the engine. Let me see if I have a good part of the video footage. Can we turn the volume down? So making a semi-automatic one was a big upgrade because I made it where there was a button. So this is a quad bore where I have a button and you just push the button and it moves forward by one. The reason why this is an upgrade to most typical mining bores is they have it on the back where you can't see where the diamonds are. And so I have a video out there on YouTube on how to make these where you can actually just keep pushing the button until you hit diamonds, which is fantastic. But this one gives you the ability to, when you hit the button, that note block that I'm standing next to will trigger those, and it will push out a block to start it. So it's the start button. And then the other one, the one to the left of me, and I'll come back to the... Let's rewind. The one to the left there, what it will do is, you see that that redstone block that's in the dead center of the screen on the back. What that will do is it'll be a break. And so when it pushes that block, it will come to a stop. It'll stop it entirely. Actually, I don't think it needs to be a redstone block. I think it'd be any block, which is hilarious. I don't know why I chose a redstone block. I think just because it's visual, it's bright red. But you can look down, and so if you stand there where you can see down the aisle in the middle, if you see the red, it's like there's safety on a gun, on a weapon, or the safety's off. And so it's really cool where you can push this. You can hit this note block on the left side, and it will it'll push or pull that redstone block, and it'll cause it to basically turn the safety on or off. And so when you stop it, you literally just smack that, and then it grabs it and it makes it come to a stop, and then you can hit it again to turn the safety back off, and then you hit the start button again. And so it'll allow you to just start and stop arbitrarily. The reason why this is so significant, though, is a lot of the time wasted on some of these ones that DocM has done. They'll have the rows that are all the way across the mining bore, and they spend a lot of human time looking for diamonds and trying to see whether, after they push their button one time, there's some diamonds, and going and mining them. With my design, if you have the right armor and you know what you're doing, you'll never have to stop. The thing can keep going while you mine the diamonds, pretty much. And if you need to stop, you can just reach up there and smack the button and stop it. And from the observation deck, you can see whether there are diamonds or not at any given time. It's the best of both worlds. It's definitely not Scar and Green proof. But we found nothing's Scar proof. There is no such thing. But I will say that it is far more resilient. And
resistant.
one of the big things in the design, which I don't necessarily showcase in the video, is that just yet, maybe I will, is that the expense, the cost to build it is considerably cheaper. And it's designed so that you can build a semi-automatic one that will drastically increase your diamond output while you work towards the fully automatic one. And so until you have the quartz and redstone dust you need to get all of those observers and note blocks, all you need is like 10 slime to get started.
This entire time I was wondering why I had doubled audio.
Well, I didn't hear you until now. But yeah, a mining board is pretty simple construct, but you can start by pushing it, and then you can add the semi-automatic component, and then you can add the full automatic component. And so it's an upgradable mining board, and that one's codenamed Phoenix because I died a lot of times in the process of getting it perfected, and it kind of rose from the ashes of the previous model that was giving me a lot of headache. And the other one was named Dragonfly because I solved a big problem, which is how do you light your caves? Because DocM was either filling it with water and doing these massive complex machines that you have to have a slime farm to do a lot of stuff he did. Mine is designed so you don't need to have a slime farm per se, and if you want to do a fully automatic one, you only need a little bit. But the secret is quite simple. It's quite simple, really. It's quite simple, really. So you count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the secret. All you do is that, and you do that, and you do that. And that is 10 blocks. And then what you do is you take your favorite shroom light or frog light, and you just go bop, bop. That's the magic trick. Now, what do I mean by that's the magic trick? Well, do it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you just make it makes a dragonfly tail that will light up all the tunnels behind it out to such an extreme distance that there will be no mob spawning. You will not have to worry about mob spawning where you're at because they can't spawn more than 64 blocks away, I think. So if I were to give me a second here. So when you're pulling, they need to already be attached. So I made a miscalculation here. That's okay. Is that 8 blocks? 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 blocks. But all you have to do is do one of these, and by repeating these over and over, these will more than light up the cave necessary to not have mob spawn, because you just have to have a light level 7. And so for a double mining board, to be able to trail this behind you, so if I were to, let's say, do that, it'll pull them both. And so it'll pull on forever. 1, 2, 3, 4. What on earth am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can have another one. And it goes fairly quickly. Fairly quickly. But this allows you to... And the cheapness is in the fact that you can use honey blocks for this. But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, they default to being touching each other, but as soon as one gets pulled away, it yanks the next one. Okay.
Right.
I think I kind of see what this is doing.
Watch this.
So it's kind of like the reverse of the typical flying machine design, where it's like it has to get pushed up against it and then push it away.
Yeah, so I just used vanilla world edit. So this is why it's so beautiful, is because that doesn't count. So the thing is, honey is cheap at scale. Honey is something you don't need a slime farm and sophistication. You can plant trees to get bees. You can get them very early game, very, very early game. And so getting the honey you need is not a problem at all. It takes a little bit of expertise in honey, but you can get honey very early game. But you can't do that with slime blocks. And so having a machine that can do that and light up your whole cave, that means no more placing torches. It means no more of the crazy elaborate contraptions that Docum uses that use like 50 slime blocks. Sometimes I say 50, but that's honestly a conservative estimate. He's probably using like 200 for some of his machines. But but when you drag a tail along it like that, and then you do the so you have a pair of mining bores up front that are fully automatic until you slap the off button as soon as you see diamonds, and then you have a place to stand where you can see the diamonds the moment they break. You can actually get it going really fast. And there's one other bit which I should have probably shown, which is I don't know if it's in the let me see. Burger. Oh, I have some Borkon clips that I might show off. So I like Borkon. He's great. He's the one who came up with fully automatic. Did you hear what he said? Hang on. Okay, same question being asked over and over, which is rather than explain, you can't hear it. So he's saying he keeps getting the same question over and over and over again. And instead of explaining, I'm just going to use a short clip from this in my video. Instead of explaining why it's a bad idea, he decided to go ahead and show it off. And I laughed at this because this is the basis for my whole machine. This is a fully automatic mining bore. And there's a lot of reasons why it's a bad idea, mainly because you'll run into gravel and it'll fall on you and the thing will break. Or you run into lava and it'll set off the TNT and the thing will destroy itself and you might die. Or it'll run into... You get the idea. It's destroying diamonds. Why would you need a mining bore that can't be stopped? That's the problem. My answer is I made it stop. My answer is you're missing the part that makes it stop on a whim, which is he's got the 12 blocks here, and you just add a 13th block, and it will stop. And you add it to the right location where you can just start it up again. So I turned his fully automatic here into one that is fully automatic with an on and off switch. Now the off switch came first, and that was the previous design, and you'd have to run all the way back to this back observer on the long piece in order to start it up again. And the reason why that's complicating is because you're all the way up here at the front, and you might have to run back and forth a bunch of times. So number one, it's taking you forever to get back here to turn it on. And number two, if you were to hit one of these front observers and make it go backwards first, if you look at it on a timeline of start and stop, what you're doing is this bumper that's moving it forward is being hit twice. So it'll speed up the rate of speed and just by one tier every time you hit one of these front observers to start it up again, which ultimately results into it breaking itself from shooting TNT too quickly. So it goes faster and faster and faster every time you hit the front. You have to hit the back one in order for it to go to the same speed. But how do you go all the way back there and reach? Well, that is the point of this mining board that I built. And so I don't have the video out yet, but it is coming soon. I'm going to try and do like a chapter based thing, and it's going to be a little bit like styled after some of the Mythbusters graphics. I'm super excited for it. I just finally finished some of the harder pieces, but that's going to be a big component. I'm super excited for it. But
today on Mythbusters, Clark's offline.
But we've taken the best of both worlds, because the problem is a fully automatic one is just too dangerous because it just doesn't stop. But now it does, and the problem is the other problem was that if you had to start it up again, you had to be back here and you had to rush up to the front, and heaven forbid you hit lava a second time, and then by the time you get up there, it's in trouble. But I fixed that. That's what the double piston extender on the back does, is it literally reaches out and says hello to this observer, and gets its attention. But I'll show. So the speed you want it to go at is how close that back bumper is. So you can adjust the speed. So what's cool about this engine is it has an adjustable speed, because literally the distance this thing has to travel left and right there's 3.5 seconds before the TNT explodes from the time it's fired. So you kind of want to have it be around that at the fastest. And so you have to figure out how to get the timing right. But again, if you want to speed it up, you just hit this front observer instead to start it up again, and it'll speed it up by 1 tick. And so you can gradually dial in the speed to as fast as you want to go without having problems. And you can use it at that and running at the fastest possible speed you can possibly have it go. As fast as you're comfortable looking for diamonds and hitting the stop button. And so, but anyway, he's got all the pieces here. He just didn't assemble it all together. This is kind of a throwaway. This is a video that most people don't know much about. This video did not get the views. So Mumbo did when in Hermitcraft Season 7, when Scar and Mumbo were making the mining board, they used Borkon's video. This is another video from his channel people don't know about. So this video that I'm going to be using, this is how I answered my problem, because I'm going through the rabbit hole of how did other people come up with mining bores, and I ended up going through Borkon's channel. And it was through that research that I discovered this video, which is the self-driving tunnel bore, which as he said in the beginning, he's like, I've told people many, many times that this comes with a host of problems and is a waste of time. And I'm just like, mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, love. No, this does something that no other thing does. And yeah, there's a lot of ways to make something fully automatic. There's a lot of ways. This is one of the many ways to make it fully automatic. But what's crucial about his is you have the gap between the front and the back. You can slap the back and move it forward by a block, and that will so
I
yeah.
love that it just plays Pong with itself. That's
Yep.
how it moves.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So right now you could come up and you could put a redstone block against this sticky piston in the back, the back one that's facing backwards on this little bumper. And if you put a redstone block on it and then take it back off, the whole thing will trigger and move forward by 1 block. So you can sit there and adjust it. And then how do you slow it down again? If you put obsidian in between the two, every time it hits it, it's not going to hit the bumper. So you just put a piece of obsidian on the back of that piston, and it'll slowly go slower and slower and slower every time it ping pongs back and forth. And so that's how you speed it up and slow it down. And so this is great. This was exactly what I needed. But I can probably make an upgraded version that's a little bit more compact, because the way he's designed this is nice to have a 2-way system. But I feel like this could be 3 or 4 blocks thick rather than 10 blocks and trailing all the way across backward. And I built a really complex system whose primary purpose is to reach all the way back there. So I have quite the long tunnel bore. So I'm probably going to get if I get any attention from the big YouTubers, I'll probably get criticism of, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? Why it could have been better if you did this. But like, I'm bringing these principles together in a way that nobody has done before. Fully automatic, but you can stop it, which beats the pants off of the DocM, hey, I slapped the button, and now I have to go dig for mining. I have to go get all the diamond ore, and then I have to get over to the button and push it again. It's like, no. You have both. You have a hand on each button at any given time. You can sit there within reach of the note block and just look for diamonds, stop, grab the diamonds, and then hop up on the platform and slap the button again. It is so much faster, because all that dead time when you're flying back and forth in your elytra, like with night vision, looking for your diamonds. I watched IO Mango, because IO Mango invented DocMs. IO Mango did all the work. I can even provide the clips in DocM's video where he credited IO Mango was teaching him stuff in Season 7 Hermitcraft. But as impressive as the stuff is, look at what DocM's still doing to this day. He's got this warden set up. The drama that happened in Season 9 is because he's trying to prevent he's trying to prevent mobs from spawning. And it's just hokey. I think the Dragonfly design, where you have one of these trailing behind and you keep it narrow enough that it doesn't have you just don't think about it anymore. You don't have to turn the cave into a giant
Wait, so is Doc's design
ocean.
Basically that he's using wardens to like crowd out the spawn cap? Is that
Yes,
what it is?
that is exactly what he's doing.
Oh
He
my
said that in
gosh,
his own
so-
words. That's a little hokey. Am I wrong to thinking that's a little hokey?
It feels like it would work. It's just awkward.
Oh, it worked.
Like, who
That's
would
exactly.
ever want to do that?
Well, see, that's what separates me from a lot of these other YouTubers, is they do the most impressive thing, and I'm like, no. I want the most practical thing that's the least painful. I want what they have, but for less effort earlier in the game. And so I have a very strong survival mindset. And so an interesting personality thing about me in general is I started as an academic in computer science, and I could have gone to grad school, and I took some classes towards that end, but never did. I went into industry, and I'm practical to a fault. I've learned the fault of people who remain academics their whole life because they deal in theory and they don't have their feet planted in survival mode, let's say. And so because they make these incredible things that are just, and you could do this in survival. Here's a build or a Lightmatic. It's like, no, I'm not going to go get 50 wardens. Could I? Yes. Do I want to? No. I'm not afraid of wardens. I can kill a warden. Some fun videos on wardens. But the pain level is just off the charts. It's just off the charts. And a lot of times people will buy things off of each other in a SMP like the Hermits. And it's just like, look, I want something that somebody can build in the early to mid game. And when you do it almost all out of honey blocks, then they only need like the base semi-automatic mining bore. I have it set up so you only need one slime block, and it's because of you need one sticky piston for the front of the mining bore, and you need one. So that's 10 slime total. And so that's all you need to get. You can go and get looting 3 and go into a, which might take you some time to get, to be fair. But you can go on a full moon into the swamp, get yourself some slime, call it good. You don't have to mine out a slime chunk and make this a 2-month-long process. And so I'm basically making something that is almost as good, if not slightly better, than what they have out there by cutting out a lot of the human time wasted. That's going to be one of the big crux of my video. My claim is that a lot of human time is wasted on these semi-automatic machines where they have to get to a button. So you'll notice if you go back and watch season 7 with Doc M, he has one on either side. We actually we got a bunch of people together and we visited the Hermitcraft server at one point, and you have to go back and forth between the 2 note blocks on either side, and it was set up that way so that he could fly back and forth. They had people, whenever people accidentally hit one on either side, not knowing when you have multiple people there, then the thing blows up on you because you got 2 note blocks that are a mile apart, and nobody knows the other person's about to slap the other one on the far end. So anyway, that's my rant. But that's one of the things that's coming soon in the channel. It's going to be, I think it's my magnum opus. It's my greatest work ever thus far. But this is some of these components that we're going to be using. I'm super excited for it. So
Yay.
I've got one other topic that I want to cover, and then we'll talk about SMPs that are coming. And I have Raven here, so she can dial how much I say, because for about one of them I wasn't going to say much. So let's jump. Actually, no, I'll talk about that now while I pull it up. So one of the SMPs that I'm going to be doing is my Discord server has a vanilla one, and we're going to start getting a bunch of the friends together from people who know people, and we're going to I lost my live stream. I gotta make sure. There we go. So if we go, I've got multiple things on my mind right now. I want to show you guys 2 things. One of them is a video I'm going to be doing on Japanese YouTubers. And but anyway, the one simple SMP is that we're going to be updating ours to 1.20 or 1.21 soon. And if people want to be part of a vanilla SMP that is related to our Discord server, you are welcome. But I think for those of us in Skyfall, we're going to do something else. Which let's talk about that in a second. So why am I talking about Japanese YouTubers? I don't know how many people have heard my rant, but I'm going to do the what's his name? Rana Rosso. So this is one of my favorite YouTubers. He doesn't speak English. I want to show
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. I want to show his. Well, there's 2 videos I want to show. Are we not on his account? We are not on his account. There we go. There we go. So one of them is just, you should feel bad about your building skills when you see the stuff he does. He did hang on, where is it? Where's the dirt video?
The dirt castle.
The dirt castle that's gorgeous. The dirt palace. Oh gosh. This is a build that I took some inspiration from in one of my builds. I've watched more of his videos in the past than I thought I did. Here we go. All right. Thank you for the advertisements. We all really want to watch those.
Hi, Stormy.
Oh, hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hello, Stormy.
So I will. You guys, I am assuming most people don't. So one of the things I want to talk about on some of my YouTube channels, I want to talk about the value of getting people from other languages who don't speak Minecraft and getting to the other internets, because the internet is almost segregated entirely by language. People don't realize this. His builds are some of the most magnificent, and they put like some of the hermits to shame. The Japanese people are crazy, man. Let me give you an example. So to show you that I'm not just making a crazy claim, I have a list that is now followed by over 50 people. Lists. That is, I'm like the steward of the list here. But these are some of the most incredible builders that I have ever seen. So just on the cuff, look at some of this stuff. This is a fantastic. Horror is one of my favorites. But a lot of times people think, oh, it just looks pretty because of shaders. And I'm going to show you in this video clip we're about to watch that that is not the case at all. Because he turns the shaders off and you go, yep, I can't do that. Yep, I've never seen somebody who speaks English do that. In fact, let's jump to it. So, all right, watch this. So he's building this incredible castle, and he'll turn the shaders off for you right here. He's using Optifine, you can see. Ta-da! There it is. No shaders, nothing up his sleeve. Look at that dirt castle with nothing but dirt. Only dirt, no slabs, no stairs, it's just dirt. And the best part is, start counting the blocks and you'll find out that this is a reasonable scale for a survival build. This is not, a lot of times people increase the resolution of their builds and make these builds that are 200-300 blocks high. It's just like, well, of course you can make it pretty if you make it enormous. No. This is not that big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. It's probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 10, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's probably less than 100 blocks tall. It's probably 90 something blocks tall. That is not that big, as Servant just said. That is not huge. It's big. It's like a mega base, but it's not a giga base that takes you 3 years to make. It is something you can build. If with a team of people, you could build this in a few weeks if you had a design. A lot of it's hollow on the inside anyway. This is not hard. There's a lot of incredible things you can do with and I think we really need to, as a Minecraft community, we need to learn from how they're doing it. So I watched this video and kind of narrated out loud with Payne a few days ago in chat. So he does this. So he starts out in the very beginning looking at an arch and he does something counterintuitive. So when I do an arch like this, I'm deciding where the pillars are going to go in between the arches, and I try and make the arch look correct. That's not what he does. He actually tries to get a good idea of the contours of the arch, and he decides where the pillars go accordingly. And in construction, that's kind of a thing you have to do, where you want it to have the right structural integrity, and so you need to have a certain rate of curve on your arc. So he moves this over by 2 blocks. You see that? You see what he just did? And that was part of his construction process. So I haven't observed that before, or at least I haven't seen creative YouTubers do that. Normally, we decide where we want to put our arches, but he's trying to get this curve just right. And then he gets it right. There's something amusing he does later, which is... Let's skip ahead. He ends up saying, I've got to figure out how to decorate the flat floor so it's not all the same and doesn't break it up. And so he turns the tick updates off and uses grass blocks. Just to say, look, I need something to break up the pattern, so I'm going to do this. It's kind of derpy, but it was just a fun project he was doing. He's like, I need some more color in my monochrome block build.
In my brown dirt
Right.
castle.
But it's really good. He's really
Cathedral.
talented. Once you figure out the circle and the pattern you want to do, he kind of discovered this like block hole pattern while he was doing the bridge, and he reused it at this point. But I'm really impressed with him. He is really good at world edit. He's a world edit user for sure. But I think this is something attainable in survival without too much work. In fact, those towers are all the same. He's just copy and pasting them at different heights, which is an interesting approach. But he has them kind of curve around the center pillar, and it's a great way to reuse geometry in and because the thing is, how many pretty towers are you going to be able to make with dirt? And the answer was like, well, since we're limited on things that look good, let's just reuse them at different heights and give like more flavor to where we put them rather than putting 4 of the same tower on each corner as a square, which would look tolerable. And then he did this. This is a good example of a good world edit user. He gets this building just right on a quarter of it, and you'll see he almost immediately, ba-boom, copies the other 3/4. So, but this is he does a really good job, and I speak a minimal amount of. I speak a minimal amount of Japanese. When I was going through it slowly with Pain, I actually translated a bit here and there. But this is like the pinnacle. Like this dirt video is like why we really need to start paying attention to people who don't speak English. I will say the French are really good at terrain generation and like curves. I've noticed a lot of video. This is where I found him on Twitter was this. I call it the glassel. He said, "What if I made it into castle, but I only use glass blocks?" So he spends time going through how many blocks do we actually have, and we have 16, but we technically have 17 with clear glass, and we technically have 18 with tinted glass. So anyway. He starts working on this bottom bit for the longest time. I'm not sure why, but he builds it out pretty quickly. It's really pretty.
Honestly, we are either going to build the glassel.
The glassel.
Or the dirt castle.
Look at this. Not a solid block in the build. The glassel. I mean, I think he's
Amazing.
interspersed some. He's got tinted blocks in here so he does a gradient of completely clear to more clear blocks to like the white. Some of the ones that are more opaque, and then he has the
Most
tinted glass as the
opaque.
most opaque. So he's done his gradient along the opacity, which is really interesting. But yeah, he's really talented. But this is just. You don't see stuff like this every day in the English-speaking Minecraft world. And I really feel like we need to... So this is another video I'm going to be doing soon. Is probably a compilation of... I think I'm going to do like a 10 or 15-minute video where I show one of each of these jaw-dropping builds like every 3 seconds for just like 10 minutes. Just to give people like here... Just a side scroll through. But like there's some incredible stuff that they do. This is like a like a walking golem thing that I saw. I should probably go through like my channel retweets because it'll be easier. But Horo and Rana Rosso, who we were just watching, are absolutely incredible. One of the ones that showed up in this list a few days ago was I think it was actually Rana Rosso's latest. Let's so I think it was his latest. Yep, there it is. Look at this. Look at that. I want to live there. It's another one of those like I want to build like that. Do you want to build like that? I want to build like that.
Yes.
Dude, that kind of it has a similar vibe to
That's
like
his pinned
the,
tweet. Here we go. This is what I want to
Classic from Mario 64, just like on steroids.
Yeah.
Right. Bump, 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 bump. Would you like to learn how to build like this? Because I would. And so I'm kind of thinking this is, I think that the hermits don't build quite on this quality. They're good builders. They're S tier for our culture, but like there's another tier or two past them. They're busy. Yeah, but they're like this is another tier or two past the stuff that they build in quality. And I haven't seen stuff like this, honestly, from the English-speaking world since the Fire UK servers were shut down. That is a long story. Fire UK, back when Machinima did the Minecraft Top 5 series, those videos were deleted from YouTube, and there was a whole bunch of controversy with corporate Machinima. It went down the toilet. Bad things happened. I think they might have been bankrupt. They got bought out. They deleted for some strange reason. I think there was some complicating issue with royalties collected by the creators. It was sick and twisted because it was money issues. But I have not seen builds of this quality since then. And in the past year or so, I've discovered these Japanese creators, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, let's just go through Rana Rosso's channel. Murazu's not here. He might go through, but we did an ultimate SMP that was done by Trixie Blocks, who did I'm making the ultimate survival world map. and we did a
Oh, I
SMP.
love that one.
We did an SMP with that, and he built an incredible pyramid thing for the desert that was not quite as good as this one. This one has his beat. It's a little bit smaller. It's a little more reasonable. Yeah, that one was meant to be just a creative mode thing. This one's a little bit more within the ability to build it, and by a lot actually, because it's scaled down a little bit. There's no enhanced. Notice that there's no enhanced render distance. How big is this on a side? You see those like stair steps right there on either side? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. How many blocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 2 blocks for each of these. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm guessing somewhere between 110 and 120 blocks across. This is not this is big, but it's not. I mean, the height of the pyramid is probably like 80 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. It's like 40 blocks tall. For 50, I guess. 50 to being generous, it's 60 blocks tall. This is something you could build easily. That's in survival. I mean, some of these pictures are incredible. This one's actually way closer than it looks like it is because of the like plant in the background. But like, and then look what he did with the interior. I will say the Japanese have they take the cake on interiors. Their interiors are nuts. But I really think that we need to learn some of their styles because, so right now, this is from his survival series. He built this in survival mode. This is he's doing like build a gorgeous like town inside a cave. And I watched his latest episode where he built this whole circle in the middle. But he's really talented.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it's just, oh, this, you guys want to see this video? Let's go see that video. So this is, there we go. Payne and I were also looking at this one. Can we not?
We looked at a lot of things.
Yeah, we did. I'm kind of doing a rehash of all that topic. That's something I wanted to cover because I'm going to be doing a video on this. I'll probably like replicate one of the builds and just allow people to download it or do something similar. I'll probably make my version of his castle or something as a downloadable and just be like, holy moly, it makes your head explode. And then we can go from there. So he actually goes in and talks a little bit about some of the different blocks. Just because you don't speak the language doesn't mean you can't infer what he's talking about because he'll point at things. But this is absolutely incredible. He decided for this one he wanted to do all black, and so he is mixing blackstone and deep slate. But look at this statue he's building. He's just really talented. But I really think we need to learn some of these bridge building techniques and shapes. I think maybe in a survival context, like maybe an SMP, we need to just build some of these. We just need to copy a section of his bridge or something and then try and make our own design. Or like everybody makes one or something. Because the easiest way to learn is to learn by doing. It's really quite something.
It's quite simple, really.
That's quite simple, really. But these are just some of the most. Here it is without shaders. This is the thing. It's just like people go, "Oh yeah, they're just using shaders." No, build that and come back to me.
Yep.
you build that and then we'll talk. You build that and show that off without shaders. But I thought this was pretty interesting that he showed his like, because this is a popular genre of building. So making slanted roofs is common, but if you actually give them a different rate of change, it makes them more interesting, and then you can add a trim. So this is roughly what I've seen in like tiers of builds in the English speaking world. Maybe this level 6 here where you start to detail it more, but he's showing that you can actually stagger and you can give like a brick-like effect by doing 2 different colors and having the stair blocks on the roof, which is not something you normally think of. And then adding structural supports is more detail, and then he shows how to add houses and decor, which to the English world's credit, we know how to do this. The good people know how to do this and like chimneys and stuff. But like this, some of these designs where you know how to shake up your lines and have it not look chaotic, they're just so really good at it. I think we really need to practice it. I think this is something
I've done level 10 before.
Right.
Definitely.
I think we need to do a bunch of like our own level 10 things because it's just
Yes.
nuts. Raven and I were talking about Kokorot the other day, which is this resource pack / mod that adds diagonals, and it is kind of not vanilla, but it's in a gray area of like, I don't know, it's really pretty. It's really, really, really pretty. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, but that is, I'm. You want somebody to follow who doesn't speak English. Start with Ranaraso. So back to the list. So I really like Horohoro. I really like Ryota Pi. Always a great build. Always a great build. These are a lot of these are small to medium builds. Ranarasos are just fabulous in large scale. Let's do this. Let's go media. So on Twitter, if you click media, you can get just the ones that have images. Unfortunately, so the images. Like, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Now that's a bank. I'm not gonna knock Sneezy because his bank was really cool in Skyfall that he did, but it just feels like it's the same thing, only enhanced considerably. It's just like, man, if only we were that good. What's after S tier? Whatever this is.
S+.
I mean, look at it closely. You would think that it's they're better at palettes. You would think that it's just the shaders, but no. Those are coral blocks. Those are end rods. There's nothing up his sleeve here. This is vanilla. You just have to look at it a little bit closer. But I think there's something to be learned from the Japanese when it comes to palettes. They do. I mean, imagine building this house as your starter house. We could. It's mostly wood. It's wood and leaves. Like the longer you look at it, I mean, there's some old coal ore up top, which is interesting that they've got. You wouldn't be able to quite get, and you got some blackstone, which would be a little bit harder to get early game. But honestly, there's nothing in this that is like, oh, I used a gradient of diamond ore. There's no, none of that. They're just obscenely talented.
Honestly,
And
looking at this stuff puts my Coliseum I built for the SMP to shame.
it puts everything we do to shame.
Yeah.
I think we just need to learn from them. The best way to learn is by doing. I think we need to visit their servers when we can find one. I found one that's no longer active or it's shut down. I'm still poking around. If anybody's curious, when I find one, I might spread the word and be like, hey, incredible server, let's go take a look. There's a World of Color server that that a bunch of Japanese creators put together where they basically built a town that was every color theme. It was really quite something. I will say that the most impressive builds that I saw when 1.20 came out with the cherry were all the Japanese. I had some rants on Twitter about it. Let's go to my profile. I go to, I'm not super active on Twitter, so it's going to be easier to find things. Sopotomy is one of the English-speaking people that has on my list. Look at the Gothic castles he builds. They're not really survival-friendly, but whoo boy, they are as pretty as...
That's Dark Souls. That's not Minecraft.
But the thing is, this is all he does. Like, this is gorgeous, but it's all he does, meaning that he only makes extensions to this castle and has for years. If I remember correctly, unlike the prolific Ranaraso, who's just making one of those on a weekend. He's like, oh, look what I made. Oh, I made another one. I made another one. But yeah, it just gets. This has got a bunch of custom texture packs on it. Unfortunately, still pretty. But yeah, their buildings are fantastic, and they're not cheating here. It's the same color palette. It looks prettier. They do have a shader on it, but it's still prettier than the stuff we build. Look at the. Have you ever seen like everybody wants to do the and the what is it, the diorite copper combo that Green came up with in season 8 of, no, it was the beginning of season 9 of Hermitcraft, I believe. But look at this roof right here. You've got the blue concrete powder, followed by lapis, followed by, I believe that's blue terracotta, which actually looks purple, followed by warped wood, the non-log version, the one that has it the same on all 6 sides. That looks fantastic. But I think right here they have this lime gradient, this like teal to lime. I didn't even know that was possible on Minecraft, for one. I feel like there's a bunch of gradients. We need to start like isolating these and making a list and start building houses out of them. We need to get a dummy world and just start cloning some of the stuff they're doing, because I think within a couple weeks of copying their stuff, we'll go, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, this is their technique. Oh, that's their color palette. I think the light bulbs will click on and we'll be able to start doing stuff ourselves. I'm not saying steal things. I'm saying the best way to learn is to follow along, make them the master and be an apprentice to what they're doing, and let them teach you. Let them teach you. And I think there'll be a lot that you learn in the process. You'll go, oh, this block goes with that block. I didn't even know. So yeah. So last order of business, while we continue to ogle these all night long, Raven, your thoughts on how much do we want to tell them about the fact that we're going to be accepting applications for another SMP?
Ooh.
Well, since we're almost in December.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be we're gonna be accepting applications beginning of January, right?
Yeah.
So
is the plan.
Do we want to kind of tell everybody kind of the theme?
Sure, you can tell
it's
the people.
Basically civilizations, right? We're gonna do like Civ as a Minecraft game. For those who've played modded Minecraft, if you look up SevTech Ages, we're basically going to rework the recipe tree and in vanilla Minecraft to be like the different ages. Come on, can I have where are we getting this from? I need images. I need images. This is a stream. Nobody likes my voice. So what SevTech Ages does is it has the mods broken into ages, and you have to complete some really hard goal to crack open the next one. And we're going to do that rather than doing it through just crafting recipes. We're also going to have a different dimension with different custom biomes for each one. It's going to be a vanilla-like SMP. We're going to stick it. It's going to be fairly vanilla, but the terrain generation and the recipes are going to be completely different. We're going to we're going to spend about 2 months, give or take, in each one. And the last one will be like an outer space one. And we've already invented like laser guns and low gravity, and like we can add lightsabers. So it's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
Wait, did you just say lightsaber?
Yeah. Conyer can speak personally. He's been working on some of the Stone Age items though with Corrupted, and we've got the second season of Skyfall is going to be kind of like a Skyfall Ages type of thing. We haven't settled on a name for the SMP yet. I think it's going to be, I think Eon's SMP is the one everybody loves. We might go with that. But
that sounds awesome.
Skyfall 2, Eon's SMP, or something like that. Probably. I kind of want to at least for the beginning and some of the advertising call it Skyfall 2, because the fact that it's the second season of an SMP gives the idea that we are serious and it's not just another gimmick done by some other derpy YouTuber. It'll seem like it's legit. But I think it'll be easier to call it Eon's SMP long term. But I think Skyfall 2 Eon's will be our load up. I kind of want to do it for like my first episode, and then we'll just start calling it Eon's SMP after that. But
for the marketing purposes in the beginning, sort of thing.
Right.
Yes, money.
Well, so not money, more just
interest,
strength of brand. Let's say
yeah.
we need to build on the brand that we've got. There are a lot of the same people. This is amusing. I've seen that in a research article.
So I love the fact that we have caveman stuff, and then we also have jetpacks and laser guns. I feel like having those are the two most important things.
We like the beginning and end too much, it seems.
Me caveman, me use laser gun and
jetpack. Like that's the only thing we've added. I have not even like started planning.
It's fine. I'm going to be doing a lot of it in December. December's when we really kick this off. But I just wanted, because people were like, "Oh no, we're going to be limited in blocks. We're not going to be able to do anything creative," and I'm just like, Dirt Castle.
I feel like that's just a better challenge though, because
I do. I think constraint breeds creativity. In the same way that tension like brings viewers, I think from a creative standpoint, the constraint will bring you a lot of. I think it'll bring you a lot. There'll be a lot more that you can do with fewer blocks. I think it'll push us further as builders, and we'll do some incredible stuff. I mean, the castle, some of the beautiful castles and stuff he's done with just 3 or 4 colors. I think that's what we need, is we need to just like, oh, you've got dirt, but you've also got andesite and diorite and granite, so you've got plenty of colors to make a pretty castle. I just think
take it for granted.
Right, don't take it for granted.
Absolutely.
But I think this is. I just think when it's like we're going to lock you off for pretty much every single lock, and it's like, well, then how are we going to build anything half decent? Dirt castle. I rest my case.
Right. Start digging.
Start digging. I know, with your hand, with your brain.
Our entire block pallette's going to consist of like dirt, coarse dirt, gravel, sand.
I think different people might pick different pallets. We might mix pallets, and we'll end up really creative.
There will be wooden planks. There will
be
like
Yeah, we'll have wood.
Which is a lot. Yeah. Wood is a lot, because if you can get more colors of wood, we might have to limit the number of trees that grow in certain biomes. But
also we won't have any stairs. We won't even have like wooden stairs or wooden slabs or anything like that.
Right.
We won't have doors.
We should probably.
It's amazing and it's great.
We should probably. We should probably suss out which. So Mishmar asks thoughts on Alex's Caves mod.
It's phenomenal.
Raven loves it. It's good stuff. I don't know if we will include it per se, but it is really good stuff. And I will say, because we're making custom biomes, I can make custom caves. So we might steal some of the better ideas from Alex Caves, but we kind of want to stick datapack heavy and be really light on the mods. We want people to be almost pure vanilla, if not pure vanilla. One of the portal mods I'm going to have people do, actually, the portal won't look like it's working from the client, but you actually can run without the client-side mod. I tested it. So I want this to be like strictly vanilla asterisk for the clients, unless we absolutely have to enforce that they have something. Because you can have server-side resource packs and server-side mods that do pretty much all the other work for you. And I want it to be, we're doing a vanilla plus. Everybody who does a serious SMP does vanilla plus. They have some kind of gimmick mod. The hermits have a whole bunch of subtle things. Carpet. They do use Lightmatic client side. They have some render distance mods that they have. They have a bunch of server side stuff that's maintenance and utility. The player head drops. Vanilla tweaks, which is kind of headed by Zazuma.
Right. Plus all the custom model stuff that they use.
Well, I mean, all that, even the player head drops is a data pack. It's not even a mod.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's true.
We can make that. And
that's exactly my thought.
Making stuff server side.
We're playing.
I'm very happy to be part of this.
Yeah, it makes it more user friendly. The mod complications are just. I mean, look at these interiors. This is gorgeous. Great. Watch this.
Hey, what about that mob grinder?
Oh, the mob grinder. Oh, we should find that. Wasn't that in a tweet?
I think so.
I think it wasn't that in a tweet. Let's go to Renderosis. Yeah. So he built. No, it was a video we were watching. Let's go back to his channel. I'm just trying to refresh my memory. Yeah. So he built this this mob grinder, and we were just like, screw you. Because it's the most beautiful mob grinder you've ever seen in your life, and it was like, really?
I mean, like when you think of mob grinder, you think
here it is.
Dirt in the sky.
Yeah, it took us a while to determine what it was. We're like, is that a mob grinder? I think that's a mob grinder. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, okay, so here's your time lapse. Yeah, but this is incredible. So yeah, so this is his mob grinder. It looks like it's those squares will prevent spiders from appearing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going for zombies and skeletons, I guess.
Zombies and skeletons,
or creepers at least. Right. Yeah. So he builds this, and you're like, okay, so hermits do stuff like this all the time. Why is this a big deal? Keep watching. So he's covering it up now. Notice that he's done like tiers to it, so he's kind of got an aesthetic to it already, where he wanted a certain shape. So it gets bigger from layer to layer. So now he's building the bottom. And so, oh, cool, it kind of has like a hot air balloon type of thing to it-ish. But then he starts decorating it. He's putting a lot of cherry wood here on the bottom.
End result is amazing.
The end result. Okay, so he's building out with leaves and doing the structures of it. He's rounding it off, and he starts adding these extensions that are made of cherry wood. And some staircases. Look at that. That's nuts. It's completely bonkers. Like, this is... It's got 6 points. It's 6-pointed. It's a hexagon in Minecraft. He's built a flower in the sky. Like, it's not... It's the antithesis of an eyesore. It's like, that's gorgeous. What is it, mob grinder? Like, I thought ugly mob grinders was mandatory. I mean, look at those rings that he put around it. These, like... These... They almost look like ribbons the way they hang. I kind of want to perfect that.
If somebody doesn't build this in the next SMP, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, there's probably a lot of things we won't build because there's so many things we could build. But that's just nuts. You don't see... When's the last time you watched an SMP and had them build something like that just casually? Just like, oh yeah, this is my mob grinder. It's just like, why is it the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life? That's not allowed for mob grinders. Mob grinders are supposed to be visual eyesores. It's just, it's anyway. I could rant about this all day.
It's too good.
It's too good. I mean, it is too good. This is one of my favorite builds that I only ever took inspiration from the Twitter pictures because I'm apparently a lazy bum who should have watched this. If you keep hitting the refresh button, eventually YouTube stops serving you ads. Haha, get wrecked, YouTube. So this is one of his really pretty builds that he did that I emulated in one of the SMPs I played in. I really like these domes. They're good domes. And it's like really open underneath. He's got like lily pads. But like it's got this open area on the interior. I didn't get a good look at the interior, I don't think. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so he's going to turn around. Let's look at some of the interiors. So the thing is, it has to be functional. It has to be practical. And so he's got all of the stuff you need on the inside too. It's just really good looking. Everything you've got, and he's got like a glass floor, I guess it looks down into something.
I feel like that'd be pretty simple to build in
It
survival.
would be simple. That's the thing. That's what makes me choke. I'm just like, what? What? Why aren't we doing the builds like this? They're so simple. It's just good architecture. I don't know what they study in schools, but they're studying something that we're not studying. Because the fact that they can come into Minecraft and just trash us. And it would be different if it was just one instance, but I'm just making him my poster child because there's so much to go off of with Renaraso because he's one of the greats. Horror is great too. I believe Horror did a number of small like interior design builds that are really pretty. Horror has a lot of talent when it comes to doing interior design and smaller things. Look at this fox! Look at this fox! Made out of glass!
Oh my gosh.
It's like this fox spirit. And it's, first you think, oh, well, of course it's talented because it's enormous. And you go, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the thing's 20 blocks across! The thing's 20 blocks across! That's no gigantic megalith. You can build that in your survival. But, like, that's the thing. Really... I mean, they do some cute tilt shift, too, with their photography that makes these things look like they're teeny. But yeah, like, this is gorgeous. How wide is that tower? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This tower is 7 blocks wide. And it has the detail of one that's twice that.
Actually, I just built something like this today.
But yeah, it's... Well, I'm glad to have you, Mishmar. You subscribed from the 1.20 shaders video. I'm never bothered to unsubscribe. We're gonna do a 1.21 shaders video. It's the same concept, but it gets some attention. I'm a Redstone YouTuber primarily, but I'm also kind of I'm passionate about what Minecraft could be, and I feel like we're not pushing things to the limit appropriately. They do some big... well, the one thing is some people don't care for big inner city builds, and the Japanese love to do their like Tokyo big inner city. Look at... I'm pretty sure that's like the Disney castle, but turned pink. I feel like the towers are in the same places. I feel like I'm looking at a Disney movie or Disneyland in California. I feel like they did that for the Halloween build.
Disneyland in Ohio.
But I need to find... What I need to find is the cherry. The cherry... The lag... I mean, look at. Do your cherry builds look like that? It's not even big. It's not even big. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 11 blocks across. This rabbit. It's a rabbit house.
Oh my gosh, the pots are part of the structural beams. That's cool.
Like columns.
Yeah. But like it also looks like a jacket the rabbit's wearing. Like it's just.
That's funny.
It's frustrating. I mean, here's a cat for you. This is fun. But if you want to be inspired and disgusted, go watch the. Go look at some of the Japanese builders. I will. I will go find. I gotta find the cherry. The cherry builds. If we can find a build of cherry, I can. I'm not sure how they say cherry in Japanese. I can. It's Sakura, but let me see if I can go. Let's do this. I can do Japanese. We're gonna go.
I can do
Sakura. Sakura. Minecraft.
Oh yes, Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yes.
I don't know if that's how they do Sakura, or at least we're only getting people. Yeah, so Minecraft, and then Sakura. I think they might do just the kanji for Sakura. There we go. Okay, because you can spell it and you can do the kanji. I wanted to show some Sakura builds. They do a really good job. Has anybody else put granite with cherry? I haven't seen that.
Yes.
The most beautiful builds that I've seen. I need to find them. But the most beautiful cherry when there was like everybody was posting cherry builds all day all the time when they dropped it. I mean, a lot of it looked like this, which is not terrible, but hello Technoblade. Let's see, where is it? The sad part is I know who did it. It's the person, one of the people I was just showing you.
Oh, you mean kind of like us building the cherry villages?
Yeah, it was kind of what inspired the cherry village. I think I suggested the cherry villages after seeing the stuff that they were doing. I was like, what? And I was like, we could do so much better, but we want to stick to vanilla anyway. Yeah, these are pretty. I mean, cherry's pretty in general, but there were some really, really talented builders. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time finding it.
Yeah.
I know one of the builders or somebody we just looked at. If I go over to my list, it's that this person. Here to buy.
You can only use cherry on Wednesdays.
You can only use cherry. On Wednesdays we use cherry.
On Wednesdays we build a cherry.
Raven and Storm, you know the reference. On Wednesdays we build a cherry. All right, let's go faster. I need to see the list a long time ago. We're still seeing Halloween builds. Ba 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 ba. Look at that ghost. That's adorable. Okay, we're in September now. Do you guys remember when Minecraft 1.20 dropped? Was it June?
June.
Early June.
Yeah.
I want to say it would have been June, July. We're getting closer. His builds are really talented. But one of his cherry builds was gorgeous. This is not the one, but this one's pretty good too. Copper goes really good with cherry. For those who haven't discovered that already, some of us have.
Some of us have.
Some of us have.
Yes.
But they know not to overdo it on some of the pink. And see, this blends in, so it's like a pink hobbit hole. But there was a cherry house that I have in mind that just made my head explode. I think this is the one. This is one of them. Okay, he did something just like this in another cherry build, but this is what I was referring to. The palettes, their pink palette is so much better. Look at there's like what four different pinks all put together. That is not the exact picture, but that is close to what I had in mind. Here's another one that I really like. I love the chest barrel top. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh. He's done so many of them. Is that underwater? Why is that under... Okay, I guess. To each their own.
It might as well happen.
And see, look at this. There's it's a build that fits in a cherry village, or in a cherry biome perfectly, but doesn't use any other than for, like, plant decor. I don't think I've seen a lot of those builds in the
I love the bamboo.
Let's cool. I like. Hey, hang on. I feel like if the overall silhouette is a triangle shape, it'll be well balanced. Interestingly, I think the overall silhouette is more balanced when it's shaped like a triangle. I don't see it here. I don't know what he's talking about. Is there a certain drug you need to take to be able to see the top of the triangle here? Am I am I missing something? That's Look at this one. This one's really good too. Look at that windmill. That's a better windmill than most of the windmills I've seen.
Oh wow.
I know. And that's purple. Yeah. That's not even that's a purple roof.
Good.
We're not using cherry in this build except for the leaves down here. That one's a little washed out, to be fair. But yeah, there's that build that I really liked.
Purple blocks are very underrated.
Yeah, here's another build with that palette. See how these mixed in birch and it like fades to the birch?
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen anything quite like this. Only thing I've really seen it is on the sides of some of pillars. They'll do like Hermit Crafters will do this with different stone types along like the base of builds, and I've seen a copper equivalent done by Grian. But like they casually do these palettes on the roofs that I just haven't seen.
B-Dubs will do stuff like this where he'll make a palette of
B-Dubs is really talented.
Yeah, I mean,
B-Dubs is super underrated.
Yes, because he does these amazing builds that look so much better from farther away, but you can still definitely get a lot of what's going on once you get up close.
Right. There's
and
not
it's flat.
There's go ahead.
Everything this guy does reminds me of candy.
Everybody has their thing, and I feel like you're right. Yeah. He does kind of have a candy vibe going on.
Bro, missing Halloween right now.
When 1.20 came out, there were some really cool builds. We've already looked at some very similar ones, but a lot of his builds start to look fairly similar. He's got a type, and so he's got like 4 or 5 different builds, and a lot of them fall into one of a few categories. Still really talented, still incredibly talented, but yeah, this is kind of that, but with you're mixing in gold netherrack, which is brilliant. I never thought to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. So yeah, any other questions, thoughts about the future of Minecraft? Because I'm thinking we need to do some of this. I think we need to find some S-tier builds and take some inspiration from them, because too many of our builds are... We especially for us smaller creators, we need to blow the internet out of the water with some of the stuff we build. Imagine if we made this one of our biomes, and like the space biome or something. Like these wispy clouds, they're gorgeous. I mean, I don't know quite how I would do a structure in the sky, but like this would be fun.
Have fun with that.
I know, right? I'm in my brain trying to figure out how you would do the terrain generation for it. This feels very Mario Galaxy.
It looks like a Smash Brothers stage.
It does look like a Smash Brothers stage. But like who would ever think, oh yeah, I'm gonna build a cloud, so I'm gonna use white wool, okay, and white glass. I'm like, how are those gonna work together? Well, they made it work. Somehow they made it work. It's beyond me. But yeah. But anyway. Yep. I think we can still hang out and chat, but I think I'm going to wrap up string here. But yeah, it's really crazy some of the stuff. Okay,
Today on Bottom Gear, the doctor made a flying swimming pool, and Connor did some helpful comments, and Raven also did commenting, and Pain Still Plays was lonely in chat for hours until he joined the VC. Good night.
And with that, I will say good night, and I hope everybody has a great Monday, and look forward to some of these videos coming. See you guys.